got that good, good love. You know that I can't get enough. Sometimes when I'm acting up, all I really want is your love. On me, on me, on me, yeah. On me, on me, on me, yeah. On me, on me, on me, yeah. On me, on me, oh yeah.
Salutations, everyone. So that clip is of our next guest. The single is called All Yours. And so I am so honored and privileged to have my first guest of my double feature interview, my exclusive double feature interview that I'm kicking off the new year with. So I had to make sure I put on my bra so I can make sure that I present to you someone that I've known for quite some time, that I've been blessed to be in his presence, for a number of events, as well as just his growth as a singer, songwriter, actor, award-winning fashion designer, award-winning celebrity stylist, someone that, just kind of went through the trenches, you guys. And he's kind of like the personification of not looking like what he's been through. And so I'm just looking forward to you, all of you, just hearing his journey and sharing a lot of gems, because he has so many, and he's just getting started on this journey. So like I said, I'm blessed and honored to have our first guest up this evening, and that is the incomparable Ja'Van Jerrod. Here we go. And here he is, Ja'Van Jerrod in the building. Look at him. Look at him. Yes.
I can't hear you. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
What is going on?
Come on now.
Can you
Don't.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. How about now? Now? Now?
Okay, I can see you, but I cannot hear you.
Really? Cause you heard me. You heard me before. Go out and come back in.
You want me to leave and come back? Okay.
Yeah, try and see. Let's see how that works, because it was we were fine before. You heard me backstage, but technical things happen, so we're not gonna let that deter us, right? So we're gonna see what happens and go from there. So I hope everyone is okay. Those who's coming into the live stream, and those who are going to be in the bushes, those who are watching the replay, shout out to each and every one of you. And, if I didn't say it already, Happy New Year to everyone. God bless you all. Let's see if, are you now?
That's perfect. That's perfect.
All right. So let's try this again. Ja'Van Jerrod in the building. I wanted to make sure you got that applause.
That was one hell of an intro. Thank you so much.
Oh, and I meant every word of it. Yeah. So but it really is a pleasure to have, just to be in the midst of you. And I always told you how much I admire you, and I know I got some years on you, but I'm not ashamed to say, or I'm not, I'm humble enough to say that you inspire me in so many different ways, and we're going to get into why that is. So I always like to start from the beginning. You come, born and raised from the Chi-Town, so and I remember you telling you shared your upbringing, and how you were mute for a while. Not mute, but you didn't have much to say. Like you were nonverbal for a while. So I want to kind of get into that and why, what made you decide to be vocal. So I want to get more into that too. But can you start from the beginning? Like, did you come from a single parent household, two parent household? I know you have siblings, so can you just tell me more about your upbringing and what that was like for you?
Yeah, so I'm actually from a small town called Rockford, Illinois, right outside of Chicago.
Hmm.
Um, I grew up with both of my parents in a household. They were married for 20 something years, and eventually they divorced. And my mom left, well, my dad left, and my mom raised me, my brother, and my little sister on her own at that point. Um, but just to kind of touch on, I guess, me being quiet, because anybody who knows me knows that I'm a quiet person until you get to know me. And I have my reasons at this point in life to why I'm like that. But I think growing up, I was very shy, very timid, um, and also battling things early on in life, like my sexuality and being confused about things of that nature, and really not knowing or even having a safe space to speak about those things. But I was literally probably quiet until I turned about 3 or 4, where I really started talking and dancing, and that true me started to shine through. My talent started to grow as well. Um, and I think, over the years, as I've gotten older, as I got older at that time, I start to realize, my quietness is my weapon and is my way of controlling situations and controlling my emotions in certain situations. So um, I think that kind of speaks to who I am today, like all of the things that I've been through, and um, how it translates into me being quiet or a shy person. But it's really my protective, uh,
Yes,
situation. So
absolutely. Yeah. So what made you okay, so you when you mentioned that you said that you were shy, you were timid, and I can understand that, you know, but what gave you your voice? What made you decide to say, you know what, this is the time where I'm gonna I'm gonna be more vocal? Like, do you remember?
music.
Mhm.
Actually, I would say fashion. Fashion started first for me. I remember growing up, early on. Like I remember, like when my parents were together, I had everything. Like I didn't really need for anything. Um, my grandmother had won a lottery, and my family was in a great space. Luxury cars, big
Mm.
houses.
Oh, okay.
I was in school, going to school in designer, and I think once they, separated, he took all of that with him and literally left my mom with nothing. I mean,
Oh,
we had to start over, and there's a lot that goes into that, but my mom struggled as a single parent, and I didn't have the best clothes or the best shoes going to like middle school at this point. So people would, pick on me. Oh, you wearing the same shoes all this time, or your
mm,
shoes dirty, or you got the same. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really have what they had. Now I still was putting it on and working with what I
it was
had,
bad, right?
but it wasn't who I am today. You know what I'm saying? So I think in 8th grade for me, I kind of had an epiphany. Like, I am Ja'Van Jerrod. You know what I'm saying? Like I am a superstar. Like at this point, I had already started, dancing. People in the neighborhood knew who I was. For that, I was in different competitions and things of that nature. So I kind of had made a name for myself, but that didn't stop people from bullying me. That didn't stop
Right.
people from talking bad about me or talking about my clothes. So the grandmother who won the lottery, my granny, she ended up moving to Texas. So every summer we would go to Texas to spend the summer with her and my aunt Nicole. And the summer, I think of 2000. Well, I think I'll be telling my age, but when I went to Texas that year, we went to Dallas. I stayed the summer. Something in me changed. There was a shift. This was the year before I went to high school, and I had kind of told myself, I'm not going to go into high school being the same person that I was in middle school. I'm not going to allow these people to make me feel bad about myself or to, you know, put me in a box to where I can't really be who I am because they're judging me. And I had grew an interest into fashion and music and just more so of the LGBTQ people and the whole lifestyle. I kind of started to really pick up on certain things and like really learn my community.
Right.
So I kind of started indulging in that and like just seeing those around me who embody this confidence that I didn't necessarily know how to show. I know it was within me, but I
Yeah.
didn't know how to present it. So that year in Texas, I spent time studying just fashion and looking at Essence magazines. And my aunt, she had us at different concerts and we were just outside. And I think that was also the era of like MySpace and like kids
Yes.
going viral and Soldier Boy and like everybody is just kind of like doing their own thing and living in their truth. So I thought it was fitting for me to also do the same, and really
Right.
show people who I am. So the year in high school, my
Well,
my
okay.
freshman year, I'm gonna bring it back.
I want you to book. Yeah, I want you to bookmark that. Yes, because as I
Well,
want
I'm
this.
bringing it back for
Okay.
you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So when I
Mhm.
went to high school, that was kind of like the changing factor for me. Like I knew that I wanted to stand out for my gifts and fashion and things of that nature, and I think that was the shift for me from like saying, "Hey, let me be more vocal and let me speak up for myself. Let me be more of who I am and what I feel on the inside. Let me show that."
Okay. And so yeah, you showing it all right, but but yeah, but I want to go back more into because you said that your parents eventually divorced. How old were you when that happened? When your parents divorced?
Um, Officially divorced because they had split for some time. Then they got back together. Then they split. Then they got back together. I would
So
probably say like 14, 15.
okay, and so now, all right. So before that happened, when there was the two parent situation going on, can you tell me the difference between your dynamic, your family dynamic in your household at the time that your parents were together, and compare it to when it was like officially split, Splitsville.
Well, I think when they were together, we were happy. I think my dad was a lot more strict than my
Mm,
mom. Um, my mom was more understanding and more loving, and my dad was like, very strict and has these high expectations, sometimes unrealistic expectations of me and my siblings, but especially of me. But I remember it just being a happy time. I remember them loving each other, and um, of course they had their ups and downs, but I think it was a household full of love.
okay.
And once they split, I think, there was still a household full of love because my mother has always been my number one fan and has always supported me through everything. Um, but, she was going through her things, trying to take care of us. She was a single mother at this point.
Mm,
So there was definitely a shift in, I guess, the love and support that she could give me was limited because she also had to work and be
and
dad
provide-
and mom,
mhm,
and she took a
right.
lot on. So I think that definitely was the change. It was just her at that point.
And so when that happened, so that did that cause a strain between you and your dad? Was your dad still present in you and your siblings' lives?
So my dad was definitely still present, um, but it was on his terms, and
Uh, mm,
he was dealing with other women at that time, and
mm,
he would say he's coming to get us, and then he won't show up, or he'll show up late, or like
mm.
he was like that, but then he would still be like throwing money here and there, like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And honestly, it was crazy to think about that because I'm very still close with my dad's side of the family. Like they helped raise me, even when he wasn't around, some of them stepped in to take care of certain things and help my mom and my granny. You know, I'm one of her favorites. So she always tried to make sure that we were taken care of. But, you know, eventually the relationship between my mother and them was strained. So a lot of the stuff that was happening, um, as far as help, has stopped. Is stopped as well. So um, he was there, but he wasn't. And you know, my dad is not perfect. We have a great relationship today,
Mm.
but we have to work, and we're still working at being better and um, communicating better.
Okay, and so I'm glad to hear that, by the way. But I wanted to know, um, when you and your dad was working towards rebuilding a relationship. Was there ever a safe space as far as your dad goes? Did Jack get to the point where I had that conversation of why, the why? Did you get your whys answered as far as, why is it that even with, you and mom separating, why was your presence limited? Why was it why did your our relationship shift? Like, did you have those whys answered as to why the relationship dynamic changed between the both of you?
I don't think I necessarily needed those answers because I know the answers. I was very present for a lot of the things that my dad did to my mother. And I
Mm,
also know that my dad was young. I also know how my dad was raised as well. That has contributed to some of the things that he's done. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't really in a household full of love himself. So he could only kind of show me what he knew. And it wasn't a lot as far as how to be a great dad. He didn't really have that either. So I
mm,
knew it was him kind of doing what he felt was good as being a dad. But my dad was also selfish in a lot of different ways as well. So to me, there's certain questions that, like, I didn't need the whys to that. Like, I was fully aware of him trying to figure out himself, and
mhm.
him navigating life and really not having a lot of answers himself. So there was grace that I was able to give in
Mm.
certain situations. And some of those questions that I think I had in the beginning, they kind of were answered over time.
Okay, well, that's commendable. The fact that you mentioned grace, and that and that's a process in itself. Having the ability to have grace and forgiveness towards people, because a lot of times, especially when you have a relationship with God, people have the perception that you automatically got to forgive and forget or have that grace. No, it takes time. It's a process.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that you actually are going through that process. But now I know you're saying that you already had the answers to the whys, but did you present your feelings to him? Did you present how you felt about your relationship at that time? Did you have that conversation with him?
No, I don't think we've had those, like, that type of conversation. Like, he's outwardly said, he's messed up, or that he could have
Mm,
been better, and that he um wish he would have did things differently. And I mean, he's outwardly said some things to that. But I don't think we've ever had like a conversation of, like, why did you cheat on my mom? And, like, why
mm.
did you have us walking to church while, your mistress was driving down the
Ooh,
street,
oh my.
in your Mercedes Benz, and harassing my mom? Like, it's just certain
Mm,
things that I didn't really, I guess, want answers to, if that makes sense. Like, I was
mm.
able to say, you know what, my mom is in a better space. We're in a better space. It happened. If my mom was able to forgive him, and move forward, so can I. He's trying now, and I'm willing to accept that.
Okay, and so how was your mom? Like throughout that journey, like how did your mom? Oh, how did you see your mom overcome those obstacles? And what was your relationship like with her during the time when your dad was around and then when he was not? Like, did you see a shift in her?
So I didn't see a shift in like how she treated me or anything like that as far as our relationship, but I definitely seen a shift in her spirit. I feel like at
Mhm.
one point she was very defeated. Um,
Mm.
my parents did everything right. Like my parents met at 13 years old. Um, they went to school together. I mean, they
Mm.
were high school sweethearts. They went to prom together. I mean, they got married. Then they had, um, me, myself, and my siblings. And I think for her, she allowed a lot of the lifestyle and the having the family kind of that was forefront for her. So she didn't really do what she wanted to do. She didn't finish, you know, her college dreams and the things that she put forth in life to have a family. She sacrificed a lot of that for us. So I definitely seen, the shift in her where I felt like she kind of maybe regretted, maybe marrying my father, or maybe just couldn't really fathom like this is where she is in life now after all of this. You know what I'm saying? After all of these great things, these great children, and this marriage, I'm now by myself and raising three kids by myself. I couldn't really imagine how she felt on the inside, but I definitely seen a shift. But I think it also made her stronger. Um,
Absolutely.
I saw a warrior kind of come out of my mother. My mother's also quiet too. My mother's a Virgo, just to kind of throw that out there. So if you know anything about Virgos, they can be very quiet, um, but they're the most sweetest people that you will meet. They will give you the shirt off their back if they needed to. Um, they will give their last. And my mother is that type of person. You know what I'm saying? But don't play with her, and she made that clear going, as even in my adult years, like don't play with me. I'm the sweetest person until I'm not. And I
Right.
think I was able to kind of see that transition, like where she was like, okay, yeah, I'm quiet, and yes, I'm this and I'm that, but I'm also very strong, and I know what to do. I'm very smart, and I'm
Mm.
capable, and I'm able. And I think she taught me a lot just going through her journey, and I was able to witness her overcome a lot of things with just the grace of God and her believing in God. And she's
Yes.
a prophet, so her
Mm.
faith is admirable. And I inspire one day to have the kind of faith and relationship with God as she does.
Oh, that's okay. That's wonderful. So you're the oldest?
No, I was the middle child. I now have a younger brother, Elijah. So for the very longest, it was my older brother Kenny, me, and then my younger sister India. So I was always the middle child, um, and I mean I was always the baby boy, So to me, I don't know. It's different now having a younger sibling. My dad had a child within the most like maybe 4 or 5 years, 4 years. So that was different to see and experience. But that's my baby brother, and I hope that he has a better version of my father than I did.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, yes. As do I. But yeah, but I appreciate you sharing that. But I also wanted to get into more into because you said the middle child. So, what was that like for you as far as your family dynamic with your siblings? How was that like growing up with your siblings and being the middle child, and also like I said, you kind of having that process of isolation because of the fact that you wasn't as vocal or you were more reserved at that time. So, what was that experience like?
It was fun growing up with my siblings.
Oh, it was okay.
My siblings are crazy, funny, goofy, playful, like very loving. Like we look out for one another. Like I'll go to war about my siblings, and
Yes.
about it, and that goes for anybody. Like I don't care who you are. Like I
Yes.
love my brothers and I love my sister. I only have one sister, so I also really don't play
Right.
about her.
Right. Absolutely.
Um, but I think in the very beginning it was fun. It was different. Like we just I don't know. We loved on each other. Um, I think at the age of 12, 13, my brother actually was incarcerated for 12 years of my life.
Mm.
So that put a huge strain on our family and also he and I relationship. Uh,
Right.
So I also saw my mother go through that. Um, and that definitely changed the trajectory of who I think I would have been, because I no longer had a big brother. I became the big brother.
Yes.
So, for me, that was different because I didn't really have a lot of time with him in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of show me the way. I know that there was multiple situations where my brother, would defend me, and I wanted to go and hang out with him and go skating with him and stuff. And I would always be my brother's shadow, and you know that kind of was taken away very early on, when I was able to even be a
Yeah.
teenager and
Right.
start hanging out with him. Um, so I think I became the big brother, and I had to really show up. There wasn't a place for me to slack. I had to make sure I graduated high school. I had to make sure I went to college. I had to make sure, I was doing the right things because now
Yeah, you set the example.
I'm setting the example,
Hmm.
And I also wanted to make sure I gifted my parents with those memories. They didn't have
Yes. Yes.
memories of my brother going to prom. And I mean, my brother was 16 years old.
Mm.
So he didn't have the opportunity to gift
Experience.
them with going to prom and graduating and all of those wonderful things that you do at that age. He didn't do. So
Wow.
I really had to step up and, do my big one for real.
Absolutely. And so, in that, when you saying creating memories, that's very phenomenal, actually. Wow, that's very profound. Wow. Okay. So the fact that you filling that void became, the oldest. So, um, this is like a two-part question. So, did you ever feel like you had to be the man of the house, and if so, did you feel even more pressure knowing that because I honestly don't think any child should have that responsibility, but I do understand why, some people have to, take on that role, to feel like they have to be that protector especially for the single mother as well as their siblings. So is that something you felt like you had to do?
I definitely felt that. My mother never made me feel that way though.
Okay.
My mother never put that responsibility on me, but because I am a leader and I am a provider and I am um, a person who has ambition and who's very determined in anything that I do, I kind of put that responsibility on myself, and I felt like I owed it to my mother. Um, just seeing all the things that she went through, and then my brother leaving. So, the men in her life have not been the best to her. So I
Right.
want to make sure that I'm able to
So it made you even
be
more
all of
protective.
that.
Yeah. So it made you even more protective of her,
Absolutely.
right, given those circumstances. And so now, so let's go more into elementary and junior high school. I always try to start there because we don't really, a lot of people don't touch on that too much, and that's a
Right.
pivotal time, when you have acne, you're trying to find yourself, you're learning about your anatomy, you're humping in the staircase, and you just trying to figure it all out. So I'm just, like, what was it like elementary and junior high? So, what was that like? What for you? Did you have any extracurricular activities? What were your grades like? Did you have any teachers that you aspire to be like?
Yeah. So I played football. I also ran track,
Oh,
and
you said football. You play football?
yeah, I played football.
What? I can't
Yeah.
see that.
I was a tight end.
What?
No point intended, but I was a tight end. At first, I really liked it. I think my dad, again, like I said, my dad was in and out, but I also had uncles and aunts who were like parents to me.
Mm.
So, and I come from a big family. My dad, I think, is one of seven.
Oh
Um,
wow, that is a big family.
so, I have a lot of cousins and, whatever, but I think my dad was the one who was like adamant on me playing football, because at that point I was dancing, and I think even then people looked at boys dancing as that being feminine and like
Yeah, yeah.
girly, and
It's just
so he
yeah.
put me in football, and like I liked it. I think I was pretty good at it, but I knew that that's something that I didn't want to do. So when I quit football, he was like, "Well, if you're not gonna do football, you have to do something different." So my uncle Bryant, shout out to my uncle Bryant. He is literally one of my favorite uncles. A true comedian at heart, but the sweetest person that you will ever meet, and the
Hmm.
most realist person as well. But he was a coach. My uncle was very athletic, and I mean, he coached football, basketball, soccer. I mean, he coached, you name it, he coached. He had his own teams, and I mean, all of that. So he actually had started coaching um, this track team. And he was like, "Well, your uncle's doing track now, so maybe you should go do track." So I started
Okay.
track, and I actually really enjoyed track. Track was really, really cool for me. I was able to kind of shine because I was fast as hell. So I was able to shine, and I was able to kind of let loose a bit. You know, I had people
Okay.
who um, were people I went to school with, but they were also like friends of the family, you know. And I think a lot of times growing up as black people, if you grew up, if your parents grew up with somebody, then they automatically become your cousin. So I had a
Yes.
lot of
Yes.
cousins on the track team with
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
So it was cool. It was fun, but I also knew that track wasn't for me.
Okay.
Um, so eventually I moved on to basketball, and basketball, hated it, was not the best at it. I just was like, this is not for me. I quit, I think, within the first 2 weeks. I just was like, no, this is not what I want to do. But I also had other things in me. I knew that I could sing, and I knew that I can dance, and I knew that
Okay.
I could write music. So
So that's when
I
it
just,
started. Oh, that's when you developed your talents in that area between elementary and junior high. That was a period where it
yes.
started. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just want to
I don't,
establish
it
a
didn't
timeline.
really come out until the
Right.
ninth grade, though.
Okay. I just want to establish a timeline.
Yeah, yeah. It was a thing. Like at 8 years old, I knew I could sing. I knew that I wanted to sing. Um, but I don't think like I was fully developed, and I wasn't, my parents didn't take me serious in that way. They knew I could dance my ass off, but they weren't pursuing the music thing. They were just like, no, you gonna dance. Okay, cool, whatever. But what else you gonna do outside of dancing? Because you're not gonna make a career out of that. You know what I'm saying? But
Wow.
I think that was the time where I was like, I don't want to do none of this. So I have to figure out what it is that Javen wants to do and how I'm gonna
Right. Right.
execute it.
Okay. So I mean, because I know, like you said, it wasn't, at that time, it wasn't etched in, yet because you still was, developing your, kind of journeying into your own self. So
Yeah,
now, so you mentioned that you in ninth grade, around ninth grade. So that's when you enter high school.
yeah.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Jefferson High School in Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
And
And so, what was that like for you overall? Because high school, like I said, is a milestone, and you know, you getting, more to yourself, you're engaging more, and you're
yeah.
developing more as an artist, like you said. And so, what was that like for you overall?
Well, I will say my freshman year was probably not like others. I came in and right away people knew who I was because I had already started kind of making a name for myself, dancing and uh,
Mm-hmm.
different competitions around Rockford and stuff like that. So, and then my last name uh, is very, very known. My family is very known. So people kind of expected me to come in a certain way, and I did vary that. I was living up to my last name.
Mm-hmm.
Freshman year, within like the first 2 months, they had a competition called Jayhawk Idol, which is like a spinoff for American Idol,
What's it called?
and Jayhawk Idol.
Jayhawk Idol.
And if you look it up, the videos are still on YouTube, so
Okay.
you'll be able to go to see. Um, but I had a crush on this girl.
Oh,
And
so you
then
did. Oh, you did dip into Lady Pond. Okay, I was going to ask that.
yes,
Was going to ask that later on. Yeah.
well, actually, I pause on that. So I dated a girl from sixth grade up into our freshman year in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like the love of my life. Um, and when we got to high school, it just kind of changed. Like our freshman year was cool, but I was changing, she was changing. I'm realizing I really don't like girls like that, but I'm like, still, I do like girls like that. Um, I hadn't had any experiences with guys at that point, like on that type of level.
Right, right.
So girls were like all that I knew, and I love attractive
But
women,
wouldn't
even
you realize?
especially.
But I mean, no, I'm sorry, Javen. I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want because I'm curious now because I want to know, like, when you mentioned that you said that okay, I'm not really, girls are not my thing. But when did that come to you, and how did you know that that was something that you know that you developed in time? Like, how did you know for sure that this was not, that, girls wasn't your thing and you wanted to go, the guy route? When did you know for sure? Because I know some kids, you go through your phases, and, you want to be one thing, you do another. But when did you know at that time?
Well, I guess at 5 years old, I knew that I was gay. Right? I
I
knew that there
thought,
was emotions and feelings that I felt. I knew that I was attracted to boys. I knew that I was different. Like nobody had taught me this. Nobody told me to like boys. Nobody uh, touched me and abused me and forced me to do things that kind of, I guess, confused me. Like I naturally liked boys. I naturally had attraction for the same sex.
and you knew that
And
at age at 5. How did
I
I
knew
mean?
that at five. At five. And I mean I there was incidents that happened where it was the boy, it was a neighbor, and I kissed him on the cheek, and he ran and told his parents told
Oh
my
wow.
dad, and I got a beating. Um
Hmm.
so I mean, I've known for my entire life, right? But
Hmm.
at five, like I don't know what gay means. I don't know like what that's not a thing for me. I just know that I'm attracted to boys, and I mean I think the boy is cute and I think the girl is cute, and I don't know. I mean that's just what it was for me. So as I got older, people started to call me gay. And they were saying that I was gay in school, and I'm like, well, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what that meant.
Hmm.
Until I kind of figured it out, like, oh, like that, oh, okay. And of course, like I said, and back in like um, my eighth grade year, like I said, when I went to Texas, I started to kind of figure out who I wanted to be. And I started to kind of do research on my community of the LGBT community and like
Hmm.
studying things of that nature. And, watching RuPaul Drag Race secretly, like, I mean, I was learning
So
who I was
what was you
in the
learning?
community.
Okay. Okay, no, I'm sorry. You basically was answering my question as I was asking, and I was saying, what did you learn? Like, what was it that you was what was it you were searching for?
Um, I was I was just searching for people like me, you know. Um,
Okay.
I wanted to see black boys who maybe felt the same way that I felt. Um, I wanted to kind of just learn like what does it mean to be gay? Like I mean, everybody has looked at me being gay as a negative, so I need to figure out why. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of what I took from it. Um, I suppressed those feelings though. Even like freshman year in high school, I suppressed that. And I had a girlfriend at the
Girlfriend,
time.
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't act on those feelings um until, like I was 100% sure. And I think
Mm-hmm.
when she and I ended up breaking up, and let me just go back to the talent show. So the talent show, when I got to high school, I entered the talent show. There was a girl that I had a crush on. Um, her name was JoJo, I believe. She was gorgeous. I mean, a gorgeous girl. She was older than me. Of course, I've always been attracted to people older than me, whether we're friends or in a relationship. I've always attracted older people as well. just by my spirit and the things that I've been through. I think has made me more mature in life. So I think she was like maybe a sophomore or even like she could. I think she was a sophomore. Not sure, but I had a crush on her, and I wrote a song. This is like maybe like the real first
Oh,
song that I wrote and performed. Like I had been writing, of course, but actually performing it and like structuring it as a real song, like on a level of kind of where I am today. That kind of was the start where it kind of commenced everything for me as far as like songwriting. But if you ever heard the Dream Shawty is a 10, Shawty is a 10, I
yes.
remixed that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I was saying names, it was easy. Then I put her name, it was JoJo.
Uh,
And at this point, the girlfriend and I are on rocky slopes right now because she's apparently cheating on me with this other boy at the
oh.
school.
Oh.
And people are telling me what's going on, and I'm like, okay. And I never mentioned it to her. I'm like, it's cool. I'm gonna join the talent show. I'm gonna do this song, and I'm gonna throw shade at her in the song, and I'm gonna tell everybody that I'm digging this new girl, JoJo. So the song was so good though. And to this day, I still think about it. It was so good, and it was
Oh.
it was. I mean, it was very nice, nasty because if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes. Yes.
everybody knew that the girl and I were breaking up and having issues. So like, it was a gag. Um, so I ended up doing the song, and I had a professional show tape made. So after I got done singing, at this time I wasn't singing and dancing at the same time. I was still learning that. So I had the show tape kind of cut, and then it went to my dance, my dance break.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and at this point, back then people were saying that I looked like Soldier Boy, child, because I had the fade and I was tall, and I used to wear the grills and the oversized clothes and stuff. So, I could see it then, but today I'm like, hell no. But um, I cut to Soldier Boy, whatever. So I did a whole little routine, and when I
Okay.
tell you, like, the girls went crazy for the kid.
All
The
right.
girls went crazy, and like me,
Okay.
I mean, I was a performer since I came out of my mother's womb. So I'm jumping off the stage, I'm grabbing girls, going like I'm doing it
Uh-oh.
all.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Um,
You have that stage presence from the start. Okay.
from the
Okay.
start. But long story short, I won the competition. I won first place. And that was my freshman year. That was my introduction to my
Mm,
freshman year. So I mean, the seniors was like, "Who is this? Who is this person?" You know what I'm saying? Like I was fresh meat, but I was showing them like, I'm here to stay, and like I am somebody too. Although I'm a freshman, but
offer.
like, look out for me. Because you always have those popular kids in school. You always have the who's who's, but they couldn't take because they didn't really know who I was. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that have never seen that side of me, singing
Right.
and dancing. Like, oh,
Yeah,
he
because
dancing.
I was thinking too, as I was thinking about watching some of your videos, and this is one of my favorites, by the way, of you. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't know you could do all of that.
Oh my god. Wow, 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 wow.
Love
Oh
it.
my
I
goodness.
couldn't help it. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist that one. That was one
That
of my
is
favorites.
crazy. I was so young. Like that is when
Yes.
I love dance. Like
This
dance is
was like,
like
I didn't know
my
people could do it like
life.
that. Yes. All right. It's like, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that one.
So I appreciate that. You did some
Yeah.
research.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so but going back to that, so you made a name for yourself. You because you knew, you was developing and you had the blueprint already. You had the blueprint and you was building a foundation in your craft, right? So it started in ninth grade, the singing, the dancing, the performing. So how were your grades at that time? Did you like, how did you balance it all?
I think I was doing well in the beginning. Um, I was a AB student, and I felt like I would realize that I didn't like school, so I was like more BC student, and like I started kind of slipping because I was focusing
Mhm.
on the music and the fashion, and like now I'm just like this
Yeah,
person.
Javen, wait, hold on. You sound a little bit choppy all of a sudden. I don't know what just happened, but your audio is kind of choppy. It's staticky. I don't know what's going. I don't know. It just happened out of nowhere.
I thought that was you. Hold on.
No, it's you. Yeah. So it just started happening for some reason. But yeah. But go keep on. Hopefully it'll subside.
Want me to come back? I can come back.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks. Because I want to make sure that we hear each other clearly. All right, so yeah, his audio was kind of choppy, so hopefully, if he, comes on and come back in. So yeah, so you see how Javen did. You see how he do. You know, you see how that, the artist that he became. So you kind of take a mental note of what I showed you just now back then, and the video to all yours now, and just see the progress, and see the transition, just see the growth in the evolution of Ja'Van Jerrod so far. So it's I'm really enjoying this conversation so far, how he was able to kind of come into his own. So let's see if things are better now. Let's see. Let's see.
You're still very talented.
Oh, yeah. Still, it's kind of worse now, actually. Yeah. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Yes. I don't know what's going on. Mm. Yeah. So I hope you guys are able to hear us okay. I hope everybody's able to hear each other. Hear Just making sure everything's on the up and up when it comes to the sounds. I want to make sure that we're able to hear that you're able to hear us very clearly, because I don't want you guys to miss out on any of this, and I don't want you to miss out on any of what Javen has to share with you, and I'm hoping that you like what he had to say so far. I hope that you're enjoying the interview so far. You know, shout out to those coming in, coming in and out, going in, going out. Shout out to those in the bushes. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. Shout out to everyone. Um, so hopefully when Javen comes back, everything will be a okay audio wise. It's just some issues with the sound. So hopefully we recover from that. Looking forward to our next guest coming on after him. But in the meantime, I'm hoping that everyone had a happy new year so far. You know. Um I know we just getting started in the new year. It's the fifth day of the new year, so I hope everyone is doing well. I hope that everyone is still committed to whatever journey they're on. I hope that everyone is still committed to um, whatever and whatever growth process that they're going through, whatever goals that you have set for yourselves, or whatever it is that you need to work on, any relationships that you have to mend, or your spiritual journey, your mental health journey, um, you know, fitness journey, whatever it is. I'm hoping that you know I wish the abundant blessings to every one of you who Oh, just embarking on it, or just living life, just living life as you see it. So, so hopefully, like I said, you are blessed more abundantly. Yeah. So, I'm, just waiting on, you know, I'm waiting for Javen to come back. I hope everything's okay. Um, so hopefully, let me see if I can reach him. Just text him real quick. Yeah. So, yeah. But I'm hoping that I'm looking forward to what's to come on this platform. The past 6 months has been a blessing as far as this platform goes. I'm actually, just getting into the I mean, not the YouTube, TikTok space. Because there's been a couple of people that suggested that I do more content on TikTok because it's more engagement, which it is true. You have more engagement, more interaction. um, so I'm learning more about that space. Shout out to my cousin Sade. She kind of gave me an extra nudge in that direction. So I've been putting my content on TikTok as well. So please make sure you check it out. All my links are in my channel as well as my social media. So please make sure that you check out my TikTok account as well. Um, and I was trying to actually stream on live on TikTok as well, but it's not very user friendly. I don't know why. It's not that user friendly when it comes to the live. I don't know whether you have to meet a certain criteria as far as followers go or something like that. So maybe you guys in the comments could kind of coach me on that because I was trying to add the whole be able to go live on TikTok for this interview. So um I just was like, okay, I don't have the patience for this. I'm gonna just stick to the YouTube space, and then I would just add some content as I go and add some clips to this interview. Hopefully, that will bring you back onto the YouTube space because um I need the interaction there. I need the support here. That's very important because this is like the my primary platform. I mean, like I said, I'm hoping to grow in TikTok, but I want to definitely be able to um grow in the YouTube space as well. So I just so shout out to everyone who's coming in. Thank you so much. Oh damn! Oh no! I just seen you guys. I just seen you guys in the chat. Yes, yes. Okay, so now I'm starting to see now. I'm going to have to block some people I see. Or y'all starting already. I gotta block some people now. I do understand that you have your opinions. Keep them to yourself if it's going to be negative. Okay, keep them to yourself. Be respectful. Okay, but yeah, I'm going to be I'm going to have to kind of bypass. But hey, Miss Stevie, hi, girl. Thank you so much for coming in. It's good to see you. Okay, Javen is coming back. Hopefully we'll be back. Right? You know, like I said, be respectful, y'all, because now I gotta time some of you out. All right. And shout out to Kimberly Black. And hey Tweety. Tweety in the building. You know, how you doing? So thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for stopping by. Just stay a little while. Just bear with us for a little while longer. Just stay with us. You know, we be back. I'm gonna have to try to edit this. I don't know. Should I edit this out? Nah. I might keep this pause. Because I'm trying to entertain y'all. Um, while Javen's coming back. Javen will be back in shortly. He just texted me and let me know he's coming back on. So you know, as long as he's coming back on. But I thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate you guys' support. Um, but like I said, be respectful. Mm, yes. All right now. I'm trying real hard, John. I'm trying to, I'm trying to um entertain y'all while Javen comes up. I hope he comes up soon because I'm really trying to fill in the void. I'm trying to, you know, keep y'all on until he comes back, I'm trying to keep y'all on board, trying to keep y'all on. All right. Yeah, so I'm just so glad. Like I said, it's an honor to have this double feature, tonight. This is such, I mean, this is such the best way to kick off the new year. So I'm so happy to be able to share this platform with him. So let's see, Javen's back in the building. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh yes, thank you, Jesus. Okay.
I was about to have a panic attack
Really?
and I was about to get
Well,
really upset. Yes,
what?
I Faith.
No, you didn't have to. I mean, really?
Faith, I'm a perfectionist, number one.
Oh gosh,
So
no.
for all of this to be happening, like this is
Uh,
not how I do interviews.
uh,
So
I
I'm just
understand,
like,
but
what's
it's
going
certain
on?
things.
So
It's beyond your control.
child, my phone was dying, the dang old light done died. It's just a lot going on.
Oh,
Then I went to
yeah.
log into my computer, and for whatever reason, it wouldn't log me through on the computer. I'm
Oh
just
my
like, you know what?
God. I'm so sorry, but like I said, certain things are beyond your control. So we get it. Like, that's why I was making sure that I entertain the folks until you got back, because I was just like, it
What?
really
Thank you. We
yes,
appreciate
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. So I understand, it happens, but I know how frustrating it is too. So I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. But look at you. You retouched your lips. I like that color.
Thank you. I didn't do
Yeah.
nothing. My lips, you probably couldn't see it because of the lighting. I had a different light.
Oh, okay. Oh, it looked like you touched it up. Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
So it is the lighting. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
it
that
was the
color.
lighting. Well,
So
thank
we
you.
yeah, you're welcome. So before we just got disconnected, remember we was talking about I think we was talking about oh, like you be having, just kind of setting that foundation as far as your talent throughout high
Yeah.
school. And I was asking you how was high school experience overall as far as, you're developing, your craft and your kind of exploring your sexuality at that time, and also, balancing
Mm.
schoolwork. You're saying that you weren't, you say your grades weren't that great because your mind wasn't there. Your thought process was
Yeah.
focused on school, but more of the art. Because like I said, most creators are like that. So we was
Hmm.
kind of we was on that. Hmm.
Yeah, so like I said, I wasn't really focused on that. I think when I got to my sophomore year in college, I mean in school, um, and kind of going on to my junior, it's like, okay, I gotta start locking down and taking this seriously. So I eventually did turn it around, A and B student, and
Okay.
really getting focused on a life after high school and what I wanted to do. I knew that I didn't want to stay in Illinois. I didn't want to be in Chicago. I didn't want to be in Rockford. I knew there was so much more. So I did lock in and try to figure out what it is I wanted to do outside of this. But I will say, I guess overall, my experience in high school was good. Like I was popular, but I wasn't like, you know, messy popular or like mean popular. Like I feel like
Yeah,
people
you were
respected
sociable.
me.
Yeah.
People respected me. People knew me. Of course, you had your ones who would try you, but for the most part, people knew me for my talent, and um, they respected me for that. And there was people who didn't like me because of that, but for the most part, I think I had a great high school career.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. So, so just taking whatever you develop in high school, you say that you started college. You go straight into college, or did you take a break in between? Like, what did you do right after?
high
Oh
school?
no, baby, I got the hell up out of Illinois.
Okay,
Literally.
yeah. So, okay, there we go. Okay, now we're there. So, why did you? What made you decide to want to relocate? And whatever destination that you're going to tell me, why there?
So I wanted to relocate because, as a child, like, granted, my mother was a single parent and we went through a lot, but there was a lot of great times as well. And I was able to travel, So my mom, she made sure that we knew there was much more than just, where we were. And there was so much world out there for me to see. And she made sure we saw that. So I knew that there was so much more that I wanted. And I didn't think that I could launch a music career or a dance career or a modeling career in Chicago. Not on the way and the level that I wanted to, because
Mhm.
also you have your hometown hate where people don't
Yeah. Oh,
support you
right. Yes.
and they
Yes.
they 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 do anything to discourage you. And like, sometimes there's a dark cloud over my hometown, and the people that's in it have a certain um way of thinking. And I don't subscribe to that. I
Mm-hmm.
believe in chasing your dreams. I believe in going
Yes. You have to
for it. And
detach yourself. Mm-hmm.
I had to detach.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up getting accepted to Prairie View University
Mm.
in Houston, Texas, and I went for music theory. That was my major.
Okay.
um, and I chose that school because, one, I have family. Again, I'm familiar with Texas at this point. I have been spending my summers there. I had an aunt, who graduated. I don't think she graduated from Prairie View University, but it was one of those schools in Houston or Dallas. I'm not sure which one. I think I also had an uncle who graduated from one of the colleges in Texas. So it has kind of been a thing, where my family has been able to succeed in Texas. So, I didn't really know any other places where I would have family outside of,
Outside. Right.
Chicago
That
or
makes sense.
Mississippi, whatever
Yeah.
like that. So
Mm.
Texas was like my escape goal.
Home. Right. Right. Second home.
Um, and
Can
I
you can you respond to Kimberly, my co-host, real quick? Can you respond to my co-host?
I can't see her
Like,
comments. What did
she
she
said
say?
she said, "I'm surprised Chicago wasn't his first choice since his close hometown."
Yeah, everybody says that, and my parents wanted me to do that. They wanted me to do the Art Institute or like a college um in Chicago for maybe the first 2 years, and then they wanted me to go off to the university if I decided I wanted to do that. But I was determined that I was not staying in my mama house. I wasn't like I wanted to spread my wings, and I had work jobs. I was working jobs in high school, so I became very independent,
Got it.
and I wanted more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had a vision
And
for
that's
myself.
understandable. Yeah, yeah, because you don't want to be in the box, you know? You don't wanna be, stuck in the box, you know?
Yeah, and
But,
I think I was
mhm,
also like, still struggling with my sexuality in a way. Not really struggling, but struggling on how to come out and
mhm,
how to tell my parents. So I also didn't feel that it was respectful to be in my mother's house and to indulge in some of the things that I desired and that I wanted, and to live and to be who I am, because I knew that maybe she wouldn't agree, or because I grew up in the church. I just didn't want to have
right,
that
right,
issue.
right.
So if I was going to be with a man, it was going to be when I was in my own house, when I was on my own, doing my own thing. Like I didn't want to have to deal with, oh, you need to get out of my house because,
Got you.
you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? I didn't want to go through
Mhm,
that. So I made sure that when I did uh, decide to, you know, I guess really come out and just be who I am, it wasn't under my parents' roof. It wasn't under, it wasn't that for me. But Texas was like a getaway for me. It was my escape. Um, I chose that also because I was dating a guy at this
mhm.
point on social media. Through MySpace is where we connected, and this was like
Right,
my
right.
first my first boyfriend at this point. I'm a senior in high school, and I'm really like feeling it now. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do the girl thing no more. Like, I like men, and like this is who I am. I need to accept it, and I just need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and really, in order to do this, I have to accept myself, and this is what
Yes.
is going to make me happy. This is going to change those feelings inside of me. Like I'm gonna be happy now if I can just embrace that, you know. And I think having that person who I met online, it really did help me mature into the man that I am. Like I had never had a boyfriend. I didn't know what that meant, what that looked like. Um, he of course was a bit more experienced because he had came out to his people already.
Mm,
Um, so I learned a lot, you know what I'm saying, from that relationship. But he was in Texas and he was going to Prairie View University. And the
okay.
only way that I could see him on that type of level would be for us to go to the same college.
Okay.
And yeah, that was my thing. I was like so in love. And I'm like, you know, I'm like, this is the one. This is my first boyfriend. And like I have the opportunity. I was already going to Texas, so now I'm just gonna apply to the same school. I mean, to me today, I would never do that. You know what I'm saying? I would never suggest anyone do that or advise anybody to do that because I really wasn't going to that school because I loved the school and because it was a great
Yeah,
way for me to
you went
launch
there
my
for a man.
career. I
Hmm.
was there for a nigga, you know, and today I can say I learned a lot. And I'm
Hmm.
glad that I did that because if I did not do that, I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Yeah,
I
so
went
he
through a
basically,
lot
so
at
it
that
was a
school.
teachable moment for you because that relationship, it kind of helped you evolve into your sexuality. Yes.
For sure. For
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Now, what was that overall? What was that relationship like? Was it how was it for you? That relationship.
It was very healthy in the beginning.
Okay.
It was very like, you know, he was very supportive of me and like he loved when I sing, I would sing to him all the time. He would critique, you know, my songs and give me feedback and um he adored me and I adored him. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like puppy love. Truly puppy love. We were fresh out of high school. We hadn't really had our time in the world. So we were new to this. And now we're off in college on our own and like we felt grown, you know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it was just a teachable learning experience because granted we end up falling out and not being together, and I end up dating somebody completely different. But um, I think we learned that we weren't a match after the first
Right.
maybe 4 or 5 months of being in college together. Like there was things that I wanted to do that he didn't want to do. Like I wanted to go to the yard and I wanted to be in the mix. And I'm trying to figure out my grounds here because I knew I did it in high school. I could do it here. And he just wasn't on that type of time. Like I was here to have fun and I was here to turn up. You know what I'm saying? I'm at
Mm,
PV. So I
yeah.
wasn't on that type of time. But we grew apart, and you know that's just kind of what
Yeah. Oh,
it
Kimberly Black said, Prairie View is a great HBCU, so you made a good choice, even if it's for the love, not education.
is.
Yeah, that's right there.
Yes,
Yes,
PD
yes.
is an amazing school,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
for sure, for sure.
yeah. So now let me ask you, now given that, because that was that relationship served its purpose, so to
Yeah,
speak. So yeah, so that I'm glad you don't regret that particular relationship. But I'm glad that you was able to move on from that, knowing that it wasn't conducive to you know what you wanted to do or conducive to what you set out to do. So I'm glad that
yeah,
she was able to get out of it because some people remain stuck. That's my point. Some people remain stuck, you
for
know,
sure.
and they lose themselves in the process. But Javen was like, look, I still got some exploring to do. I'm Dora up in this piece. I got some exploring to do. So yes, I'm glad that you're able to have the mindset to do that. So that's impressive.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, so you studied music theory. All right. So how was that for you? How was you studying? And did you live on campus? You was on campus?
I lived on campus.
Okay.
My mom, so my dad, at this time, my mom and dad were working things out, but not working things out. And like, it was a weird time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my dad had went away for a year.
Mm,
So while I was going to college, he was not there for that. But prior to me, doing the whole process and everything, he was so adamant about me staying close and
Mhm.
local.
Mhm.
And I knew that had a lot to do with him wanting to keep tabs on me. But I also knew that it came from a place of wisdom and just knowing how it can be as a child alone in this world. And I think he wanted to make sure I was ready before I left. And my mom and he had a back and forth about that because my mom was very like, no, he's gonna chase his dreams. He's been accepted into the school. This is where he wants to go. I'm gonna support him. We went and visited. We went to my family member's house in Texas. We all went to the school together. Like everybody was on board for me going to the school, and he was just like, no. But my mom, we packed up that
Mhm.
van
Mhm.
and we got on the road.
Mhm.
And I think for me, I didn't think I would experience the things that I experienced. I was not ready um, for the things that happened to me at that school. I
Mm.
think I dealt with a lot of depression. I dealt with a lot of insecurities and anxiety. And I think a lot of that stemmed from me coming from a place like Rockford in Chicago. It's a very diverse place. So I grew up with everybody. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like I went to school with a little bit of everybody. Um, at Prairie View University, this is all my people. This is all,
Mhm.
black people. You know what I'm saying? And you know how sometimes how black people treat other black people who are different from them. Sometimes you're not black enough, or you're not hood enough, or you're not mask
Masculine enough.
enough. You're
Mhm.
not,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Especially being a black man, you're upheld to a different standard than the rest of the world. You're looked at like a superhero. Like you're supposed to be all of these great things, and like nothing can be wrong with you. You're supposed to be perfect in a way. And I don't think I was any of that. Like I was at this point designing my own clothes. So
Okay. Okay.
I thought I was Lady Gaga
Mhm.
child.
Mhm.
Um, I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm also doing a little rapping now. Like I've come into myself,
Right. Right.
and now I'm at this school, and like they don't know what the hell I'm doing. They looking at me like I'm crazy because who is this boy from the Midwest? Like who is this? And we in the South at
Hey,
this
well, you're
point,
gonna
so it's
learn
just
today.
like
You're gonna learn today.
they
You
just
know,
was not. They were not feeling me, but
they weren't ready.
they weren't. But
Yeah.
I wasn't. I had never experienced that on that level.
Right.
Um,
Got you.
there was bullying there, and there was a lot of negativity there, and it had got to the point where like we would have our lunch hour or whatever. I wouldn't even go into the cafeteria because I didn't have anybody to sit with at this point. Me and the boy had
Mm.
broke up. The other boy that I started dating after that, he and I and his friends got into a big brawl. It was a big fight. So
What?
at this
Oh.
point, I didn't really have
What?
friends. I didn't really have. This is early on in the career. This is like within
Yeah.
6 months of me being at this school. Um, I felt isolated. I felt very alone. Um,
Mm.
Even when it just came down to family, I felt like there was family. I would call them like, Auntie, come get me. Like, I don't want to be at this school, or come get me for the weekend. I just need to be around my family. I need some type of love right now.
Mhm.
And I didn't want to call my mom because my mom gonna be like, okay, well, you need to, come home, or what we doing? You know what I'm saying? She's gonna always try to go into that protection, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to seem like I failed.
Right. You don't want to
So
put that on her. Yeah. But it was a
you
culture shock,
know.
like Kimberly Black. It was culture shock. Yes, exactly, Kimberly Black.
It was definitely a
Yeah.
culture
Yeah.
shock for
Mhm.
me. Um, so I dealt with a lot internally
Yes.
there, and I think it definitely made me stronger. It
Yeah, I
definitely
was gonna
made me
say that was
wiser.
all part of the, evolution process. That was all part of the growth,
Yes,
the growth that you had to
yes,
experience,
for
so
sure.
yeah,
And as you can
absolutely.
imagine, like dealing with all of that, and then also going to my classes and not really being intrigued with my classes, like music theory is amazing, and if you're going to go to school for that, you should love that, right? But I
Mhm.
didn't want to study that type of music. Like I'm doing R&B at this point. I'm writing R&B songs and I'm listening to the radio and I'm writing pop songs and I'm within that era of the Beyoncés and the Nicki Minaj's and the Lady Gaga's and the Ushers and the Chris Browns. Like that's what I aspire to be. I don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
this. You know what I'm saying? Like now going back and like looking at it now, like those tools and things that I learned definitely have helped me. And though I didn't finish there, music theory definitely played a big part in my ability to read music and
Yeah, the blueprint.
just
Mm-hmm.
different things, you know what I'm saying? And like the piano and just a lot of different things that I wouldn't have never learned if I didn't go there and study that. Although I wasn't crazy about it, it definitely helped prepare me for today.
Mm. Yes, yes, absolutely. So once you decided that you wanted to leave Prairie View, where did you go from there?
So, funny story. It had got so bad at Prairie View University for me. Um,
How long did you stay? How long were you there?
it was about a year.
Okay.
Yeah. It had got really bad for me though. And it had gotten to the point where, I was faking the funk with my mom and my dad and I was faking the funk with like my family members who did live there. Um, but I was not happy. Now at this point I was dating guys. I was meeting guys outside of campus, on campus. Like I was just kind of exploring and um living the life. I'm young.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still really inexperienced, but I'm gaining my experience. I'm dating
Yes.
and I'm all of these
Yes.
things. And
Mm-hmm.
um I had met a guy. We had went to the mall one day. It was me and this girl. We ended up getting cool towards the end of my journey there, but she was like my only true friend that I had.
Mm-hmm.
She was older. She had a car. She wasn't really living on campus. She was like transitioning when we met. Then she ended up moving off campus into her own apartment. And she was just my speed. She was a bad bitch. She was pretty. Like, she had her
Mm-hmm.
thing
Mm-hmm.
going on. Like, she was
Mm-hmm.
focused, like we just connected, and she looked at me like her little brother. So we were at the mall one day and she was I think in a shoe store or whatever. And there was this guy who came up to her and like asking for her number. Now this is an older guy, older gentleman. And I mean, when I say older, I mean like, he looked like somebody's grandfather, somebody's,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whatever. But he like spitting it to her like he wanted to take
Zaddy.
her,
He
you
got you
know,
Zaddy vibes.
I mean, real zaddy. I mean, grandpa though. I'm like, okay, I don't see that happening, but I mean, he ended up buying her shoes and he ended up buying us some food. And I mean, it was like a thing, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, come to find out, well, I guess a few weeks after that, she had been communicating with him and like talking to him, and she's telling me that she's gonna, use him for his money and all of this stuff. So, in my head, I'm like, well, girl, what can I get out of that too? Like, well, help me out too, because at this point, I'm going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm barely eating. I don't eat the food there. Like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
really focused on school at this point. Like I'm just
All over
surviving.
the place. Mm-hmm.
I'm surviving mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to survive. I'm all over the place. And I told her, I said, hey, I need some money. I want to kind of like get some clothes, and I really don't want to involve my family like that. So she asked him for some money, and he lent her the money. She didn't really know what it was. He didn't know what it was for, but she ended up giving me the money. So I was able to go and get some clothes or shoes, whatever. Long story short, I told her that Um, I was gonna go home for a little bit to maybe like gather myself and figure out if this is what I wanted to do. I didn't really want to tell my aunts and my granny who lived in Dallas at that point because one, I didn't want to disappoint them. And two, I was kind of pissed at them because I haven't asked them for them to come get me. And they like, no, you need to stick it out. You need to, you know what I'm saying? This is what you said you wanted. This is what you're gonna
Right.
do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna baby you. We not none of that. So I'm pissed. I'm like, no, I want to leave. I want to leave. And they would not, you know,
Mm-hmm.
give into that. So I said, well, if they're not gonna let me leave, they're not gonna come get me. I'm gonna take my ass home on my own free will. I'm gonna find a way
Mm-hmm.
to get a plane ticket and I'm going home. So um the girl ended up speaking to the guy about this. He happens to know somebody who's able to get me on a buddy pass. Now he and I starts to communicate because he's willing to help me. She's kind of explained the situation.
Oh,
He,
that was noble of him. Okay.
very noble, but again,
All
he
right.
likes her.
Mhm.
I don't know if they've been intimate or anything like that, but he wanted to take care of her. And from day one, like he made that very clear, like of what type of time he was on. So even with him lending her money, of course he didn't know it was for me, but she was able to get things out of him. And she looked out for me in certain ways. So this was another situation where she was looking out for me. So when she kind of explained that, he got me on a buddy pass, but he had got my number from her. We were talking about how the buddy pass works, what I need to do to be at the airport and all of that, right?
Yes, yes.
And in the midst of the conversation, like he's kind of coming on to me. And
You know
I'm
what?
like,
I knew this. I knew that's gonna. Okay, I knew he was gonna go there. I had a feeling. Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's coming on
Mm-hmm.
to me and like, he's talking that talk to me like, and I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that, but I kind of seen her work with him and like how she was able to maneuver and use certain trigger points and words with him to get things out of him. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm playing along with him at this point. At this point, use
Right,
that.
right.
At this point,
Mhm.
yeah. What's up? I'm young, I'm tender. Like what you want to
What we
do?
doing? What we doing? Yeah,
That's
what we
how I
doing?
felt, and I needed somebody to take care of me at that point.
Mhm.
So
So
we ended up
he became your sugar daddy.
he became my sugar daddy. Um, and it lasted for like 2 weeks because at that point,
Okay.
we were only discussing the buddy pass, but I was dead ass. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm going home. Like, so
I'm
I was
going.
just working my way up to like really getting that out of him. So in the meantime, like he was taking me on dates and we was going to dinner. He was bringing groceries to my dorm. I mean, it
Oh,
was a thing, right?
what,
Um,
what's his name? What's the name? What's the name?
so it was a lot, and like I
Yeah.
said, it was new to me. I was experiencing life, like it was different, but I liked it. I'm like, shit,
Right, right.
okay. You gonna
Yeah.
talk to me because I'm handsome and I'm young and I'm cute. Okay, cool. You gonna buy me this, buy me that, okay, cool. So long story short, he ended up doing the buddy pass for me. And it was maybe like something like a flight like early in the morning, like 2,
Mhm.
1 a.m. in
Right.
the morning, something like that. So I had to be at the airport at a certain time. So I knew that I was leaving. I didn't tell nobody. I knew that I was leaving. I left in the middle of the night phase. I
Mm.
packed all my stuff, whatever I could take, I brought, and on the flight with me, and everything else he put in the back of his truck. My
Mm.
TV and I had clothes, my school books, music. I had a lot. Like he literally came to my dorm in the middle of the night. He helped me move all that shit out, put it in the back of his truck, drove me to the airport, and I was on
Mm.
my way back to Chicago.
Wow.
So
Wow.
imagine like my family, like they were pissed. Cause
Like, what the
I'm
heck
not my
you doing
mom.
here?
I'm at my
Yeah.
mom's door like, hey, it's me.
Uh,
Let me in.
yeah,
I'm
like what
back.
like the heck you doing here? I was like, yeah.
Yeah. They were pissed, but
Wow.
I had to get away from that faith. Like I could not mentally, it was a lot for me. And I had to find a way out. And looking back at it, like I don't regret leaving when I
Oh,
did.
and okay, and what you set out to do? Okay, you left in the middle of the night. You packed your things up. You popped up back in Chicago, and then what? I mean, what was your end game at that point?
At that point, I needed to gather my things. I'm like, I know I want to go back to school, but I don't think that I want to go back like right now. I want to maybe go get a job, get some money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to go to the studio and I want to go write music. I want to get book some gigs to go perform. Like I'm back in my
Mm-hmm.
hometown now, so I'm able to do these things. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to go to the studio. I'm able to, you know, do all of these things, and I just needed a mental break to like revise my plan. So
Mm-hmm.
in the midst of me revising my plan, uh 2011, 2012, 13. I didn't go back to school till 2014. And that was my
So what did you do
transition.
between that? Okay, so what
I
did you
was
do between?
working. I
What
was
did you what,
working.
where did you work?
I worked for Chase Bank.
Okay.
I worked for Walmart. I worked uh, for Home Depot. I
Oh, okay.
worked multiple
You went
jobs.
various
Cause mind
jobs.
you, I was
Mm-hmm.
at my mama house. I was working multiple jobs. I think I also had like another call center job. I forget what it was. But I was stacking my money.
Yes.
And you know, my mother is the type of person is as long as she's living and she's breathing and she has a home for me to come to, she's gonna welcome me with open arms. And that's what I appreciate the most because my mama didn't ask me for nothing. She
And
wanted
that's
me to
so
get my
great.
stuff
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. I want to
You
interject
know?
real quickly how important it is
Yeah.
to have a support system like that. At least one of your parents were able to support you. Even if you know
Yeah.
you needed that tough love, also there was a balance between that tough love and that support. But your mom, it seemed like your
Yeah.
mom was it was like an even kill for her. Like she was able to say, you know what,
Yeah.
I know you had to explore, I know that you had to do this, but home, you always could come home. You could always come home. So I just really like the fact that, even with your other family members giving that tough love needed, but it was a
Yeah.
balance with your mom providing that space for you, the safe space for you to just kind of figure it all out. So shout out to your mom.
Absolutely. Definitely
Mhm,
shout out to my mom. She was, I
mhm.
mean, and still is my best friend. You know, she definitely was like, get your stuff together, figure it
Get
out,
it. Mhm,
whatever it
mhm.
is, you know,
Yeah,
if
because
it
you're young at
makes
this point.
sense,
Mhm,
we can talk about it. But like, I'm here to support you. So whatever I can do to help, let me know. But in the meantime, like, figure it out. So at this point, I'm
mhm,
really, really writing music. I'm revising my game plan. I know that I cannot stay in Rockford. I do not want to be here. Um, there was a point where I was like, well, let me go to the Art Institute in Chicago, which was originally my dad's plan. He didn't want me to leave. He was thinking about that
mhm.
school for me in Chicago. So I said, well, let me check that
Got
out.
you. Okay.
So I'm stacking my money. I'm hanging out with my friends. Like I'm really enjoying myself. I done released a mixtape during this time. Like I'm honing in on my craft. I'm learning who I am. Um,
Mm,
I'm just really figuring things out, you know? Um, and I went to the Art Institute of Chicago, loved it, but I didn't want to be in Chicago.
got it.
And in the midst of this, you're gonna laugh, Faith, but you know, I ended up meeting another guy online,
Don't tell me
and
you followed him too.
he lived in Atlanta.
Oh, God. You followed him too? Lord Jesus. What is
Faith,
it? I mean, is that what? Okay, now I get it. That's how you determine your destination. Is where your man is.
no,
Oh, okay, got it.
listen, I Atlanta was like, it was on my radar, but New York was like I really wanted to move to New York. I really wanted to be in New
Mhm.
York. I'm like, okay, they have other art institutes and stuff like that in school. But you know, I can't be in Chicago. I can't be in Rockford. I think New York is where I want to go.
Mm,
So I had my eye on New York, but then I met this guy.
mm, mm.
So I'm like, well, let me look into Atlanta and the schools there because I'm
Right,
really
Kimberly Black.
feeling him. You know, we talking on the phone every day.
Right, right, Kimberly Black. There's a pattern developing here. Go ahead. That's what my Kimberly Black said. I call her my
Yes.
co-host. Yeah.
He's an artist, you know what I'm saying? Like he's doing his thing in Atlanta. And at this point I've kind of like formulated my type. So at this point he's my type. And I'm like,
He's your type. What's your type?
my type is, well, I guess at that point, because that's no longer my type. But
Okay.
my type
At that
was,
time.
you know, light skin, bald head, a
Oh,
beard.
Okay.
tall. I like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know what that was. The whole bald head thing that was so weird to me.
It's not
But
weird.
that was a thing though for me. Like I
Yeah, it's
was
not
so
weird. No,
attracted to that.
right. It's your preference.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm young as hell. Why do I like men with bald heads? Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
can be
I don't
sexy.
know.
It's sexy on some people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, he was my type. So we were online dating and like face, I guess, Vuvo and Skyping and stuff for like probably about a
Mm-hmm.
year,
Hmm.
fully a year. We had never met in person. Um, but he was like, I want to see you.
Mm.
So I ended up saying, well, the only way I can really see you is if like,
You get flued
my
out.
parents know or I get flued. I
Yeah.
mean, I could get flued
Hmm.
out, but like I can't just up and go to Atlanta. My parents gonna be asking me what the hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, what lie could I come up with to say why I was going to Atlanta? Like, there wasn't one. So I said, well, let me figure out something. So I end up looking up schools in Atlanta. And I said, well, shit, let's check out the Art Institute of Atlanta. So I started telling my mom about the school. I'm like, I really want to go. I really want to go. I really want to go. And in my head, I'm like,
Hmm.
you just did this, boy. Do you want to do this again? Because you know what you just went through. You know why. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Hmm.
So I said,
Hmm.
well, if I do go, one, I'm going to go for a major that I really want to do. And at this point, I'm honed in on music. So I said, well, I want to do audio production. I want to learn how to create beats and I want to learn the business side of things. And, I was really intrigued in that. And I felt like that would be very helpful for me as well. So I found a major. Then I had a minor, which was fashion. So I said, well, this school seems to be more of what I want to do than what PV was. And it's in
Got you.
Atlanta. It's in the Black Hollywood. It's the Mecca right now.
Yeah.
Everything is
Hmm.
popping. You can go to
Right.
Atlanta and be a
Hmm.
superstar tomorrow. So I said, yeah, I think Atlanta is my thing. On top of that, I got this really cute boy. I'm really feeling at this point we in love. All of this. So I end up going in to visit Atlanta. Now at this
Hmm.
point, I'm not even going to visit the school. I went with my best friend. My mom was okay with that because I was with a friend. And God rest her soul, Danica, my best friend who passed away. Um, she was like my road dog. So I was telling her about the boy, and I'm like, I really like him, and I need to go see him. So we set the whole thing up, child,
Hmm.
and I went to go see him. And when I got off the plane in Atlanta, I knew that Atlanta was home for me. I
How
felt
did
a
you know?
sense of like comfort and like a sigh of
Okay.
relief. I'm like,
Okay.
ooh, I can be me. Like the air was different. This is in 2014, by the way.
Hmm.
So that Atlanta is completely different than this Atlanta, and even that Atlanta then was a different Atlanta from what our
Right. I
parents
got it.
like the
Yeah.
old Atlanta. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? But even in
Yes. Hmm.
2014, there was a lot of different great things happening here, where I feel like it was a rise of a lot of great things for Black and queer people. So I just felt at home and I
Yes.
felt comfortable. And I don't know, it was hot. It was just like, I don't know. I was feeling my beat. I felt it. I just knew Atlanta was the place for me. Um, so I met him and everything was amazing. And we did not last, but I knew that I wanted to go to that school. So when I got back home, I applied. I did everything I needed to do. I got
Okay.
accepted.
Okay.
And probably within the next 6 months, 2014, I moved to Atlanta and I stayed on campus at the Art Institute in Dunwoody. And that was a great experience for me. I was able to learn a lot within my major.
Good. Good.
And I was able to make a lot of connections. I mean, I was literally outside, still in my Lady Gaga wear, designing my own clothes, and handing out my mixtapes on campus. Like I remember those
Mm.
days because I was hungry.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was like, okay, this is a fresh start for me. This is new. I
Yes.
feel good. I feel like, okay, this is the place. And I didn't have a guy in the beginning when I started school. I didn't have
Right.
a guy distracting me. I was really
Yes.
focused
Yes.
on what I needed to do. Um, Eventually, and maybe you're gonna ask me that, but eventually another guy came into the
Yeah.
picture
Mm,
where I ended up leaving the Art Institute,
mm.
um,
There go
and
that pattern.
moving in with him, child, and ended up dropping out of school. And
Mm.
um, yeah, at that point, my life had took a turn, and I was just like, "You did it again." You've allowed men
A person.
to distract you and to take you
Yes.
off your purpose and the reason why you even moved to this place. You know what I'm saying? So it took a lot. That relationship was very abusive, mentally and
Oh.
physically.
Mm.
And there was a lot that we'll be here all night if I even go into the things that happened in that relationship. But I will say that I was able to overcome that relationship, and I ended up going back home because at that point I wasn't in school. My parents didn't know. I was in this abusive relationship. And the only way for me
Mm.
to really get out was to be honest and upfront with my parents because I didn't have a job at that point anymore. I didn't have any more money. He was taking care of me. He really stripped me away of my
Yeah, you
independence.
got you out your
And
square. Mm-hmm.
he really, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying, did that because, I mean, he paid for everything. And he was literally like, um, a father figure in a way. Like he took care of me. Like now, granted, I was driving his car, his foreign cars, and I didn't really need or want for anything. And we were traveling and doing different things, and
Mm.
um, it definitely felt like a relationship.
It sound like a love bombing and process.
Yeah, I was
Mm-hmm.
definitely love bombed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was a real relationship because I'm meeting his parents at this point, and this is a lot different from my first relationship and my second one. You know what I'm saying?
This
Like,
one's more it's more serious, it's more deeper connection.
yeah, this man has asked me to marry him. It was a
Mm.
lot for me, and I just found out a lot about life and who I am and what I'm willing to accept and what I want in a man and what I desire. And he wasn't that. He wasn't
Mm.
that, but I had to
Mm.
go through those things to see that because I would be, you know, I would be lying if I didn't say, I don't appreciate the experience because it really taught me so much. And I feel like if I didn't go through that, I would be very oblivious to a lot of different things in life. But I learned a lot about the drag community and the ballroom scene and the fast life of sex, drugs, and money in that relationship
And
because
that
he did a
right.
lot of.
So
I
yeah,
went to my
so
first ball being in a relationship with him. I didn't know what a
mm,
ball was, and
wow.
I mean, I was really experiencing the
So
things
that
that
was
I
your yeah, that
thought.
relationship, yeah, that was your introduction into some, into
Yeah,
that was your introduction into, you know, like you said, rock, partying like a rock star type of thing. But
for
but it, like I
sure.
said, it's a teachable moment. But Kimberly Black asked you, Javen, when does accountability come in?
Well, I think it always was there because even
Mm-hmm.
in the situation where I realized, like, what am I doing? I'm doing this again. You know what I'm saying? Like, here I am. I done left school. I done quit my job at Home Depot. I'm all the way here in Atlanta. I'm by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And why am
Mm-hmm.
I doing this? And why do I feel these things? So I
Well,
think
you.
accountability was there.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that I was very young. I was lost. And I didn't really have nobody to show me the way, especially in this gay lifestyle. Um, I didn't have a big brother or a big sister or a gay family to be there for me. I was by myself. And like granted, I
Yes.
had a couple of gay friends, but they wasn't moving and shaking like I was. They wasn't moving across the state, and they weren't literally chasing their dreams and trying to be a superstar like I was. So my
Mm,
experience was a lot different from them. Um, but yeah, the accountability was always there for sure.
got you. So now, so you went back home. You decided. How long were you in the art institute?
Um, Almost 2 years.
Oh, okay. So you stayed a little longer, and
Yeah,
so you took. So I'm sure you took some, not just from the school. You took, from there, but you also had learned some things, not just academically, but you learned so much from that previous relationship to where, and that's also a good thing that you were able to explore and also get kind of branch out into different areas because you know that way you didn't have to remain sheltered, you know
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you're able to develop, some type of street sense as well, to kind of be a
for sure,
kind of, you learn how to keep your head on the swivel, like they say.
for
So
sure.
so that helps you as well. But I am sorry that you have to go through the domestic violence situation because that's something that, it's I don't even know why that even still exists to this day, and it shouldn't exist at all. But I'm glad you got out of that. So and you went home, back home, and
Yeah.
and then
So
and
I guess
when you
before I tell you when I got home, I caught my mom. We were at a club or whatever, and I'm drunk. But at this point, I'm going through so much in my relationship to where I need to talk to my mom and like really be real
mm,
with her because at this point, like nobody knows what I'm going through. They even still think I'm in school. They was talking about coming to visit me, and I'm like, I have to be
mm,
honest with
yeah,
them.
yeah,
So I could not tell my mom sober. I had to get drunk. I'm like, I can't. I couldn't muster it up. I
mm,
had to go and get
liquid
drunk.
courage. Mm,
Liquid courage for sure. So I call her and I'm like, hey ma, and it's late. So my mama's automatically worried, like, why you calling me? What's going on? It's almost 1 o'clock here. Like you cool, you good, what's happening? And I'm like, yeah, I just want to tell you I'm gay. And
wow,
I
you
dropped
said
out of
that.
school.
Uh,
I left school and I'm living with my boyfriend. And she got real silent.
mm,
And then she was like, well, Jay, you know I love you the same. You know, you still my baby.
mm, mm,
And I
oh,
think for me, when she said that, I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I tell you sooner? Like, why didn't I say this
yeah,
sooner?
yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
Um, but she was like very comforting. And I said, well, I'll call you tomorrow. And I didn't call her. I actually waited a few days. And that last day, before I went home, he and I had gotten into a really bad fight to the point where I ended up calling the police.
Oh no.
And
Mm,
he stole my phone, he left,
mm,
and we had got physical. So I had ran to neighbors to call to use their phone to call 911 because at
mm,
this point, I'm just like, bro, I'm not doing this no more. And I'm tired of going through this with you. At this point, I've learned that um he does coke.
mm,
Uh, he's an escort, and he sells drugs. So I've discovered over time like who this person really is, like
really
because this is
is.
not who you
Yes.
presented to me when I
Of
met you.
course.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But I
Right.
had like I'm going through clothes and drawers and like I'm finding all of these things. I'm like, yo. So when I presented it to him, that's how the big
That's when the
explosive
explosion happened. Mhm,
happened,
mhm,
you know what I'm saying? And
mhm,
it had
mhm,
the fight was really bad. So I was like, you know what, I have to go. I have to leave because one of us is gonna end up dead here. One of
mm,
us,
yes. Yeah.
and
Mm.
it ain't gonna be me, baby, at this point. So
Right,
I'm like,
right.
I have to get out of here. And the only way for me to do that was to be upfront and honest with my mom. Now, I did not tell my dad everything because at this point my dad is back in my life. He's back home. Um, he and my mom are on speaking terms and they're co-parenting well at this point. They still have their issues, but he's more present in my
Yes.
life
Hmm.
at this point. And I end up calling the police. And then once they came, they let me in. He came back. He was able to get my phone. They ended up arresting him and took him
Mm.
to jail. But I had to pack all my stuff up. And I ended up calling my mom, like, hey, I got into a fight with my boyfriend. This is what's going on, yada, yada, yada. And she's like, okay, let me call your dad. And I'm like, well, wait. Don't call my dad because he don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's like, well, I know he don't know, but I'm going to make sure because your dad has a friend who lives in Atlanta. They can probably come get you. You can stay the night there until we can send
Oh,
money to
okay.
get you home.
Right. Right.
So that's exactly what happened. She talked to my dad and he called his friend. She's passed away now. I think her name was Sheila. She was the sweetest lady. She grew up in Rockford. She went to high school with my parents. And she lived maybe like an hour away. Like we were in uh we were in Dunwoody. She lived in um Austell, I think. She lived far as hell.
Hostel. Okay. Okay.
She lived far. And baby, she got up in the middle of the night and she drove all the way to Dunwoody to come get me. Mind you, I had
Mm.
never, she knew me. I have never met her a day in my life, but she knew me as a child. Um, and baby, she helped me pack the car up and she got all my stuff out the house. And I stayed at her house for about 2 days. And then my parents finally sent for me. And I don't even think my dad knew, even to this day, that I was living with a boyfriend. He thought I was living with a friend and I had a roommate type
Mm.
situation.
Right.
So, he didn't really know, but that was my mom way of like protecting me still because I wasn't really
Right.
open to telling him what was going on with
Right.
me. And
Right.
I didn't feel comfortable because I already knew what his reaction would be. Or so I thought. So I get back home. Now I'm back home. It's 2016 and I go back to work. I go back to looking for a job, and now I'm working two jobs. I'm stacking my money. I'm still performing. I'm still writing, but now I'm performing and writing on another level because I have so much experience, and I'm going through. I
Right.
went through so
Right.
much,
Yes.
so I'm
Yes.
I'm
And
writing songs
yeah,
and
that's a lot of material there. Hmm.
yeah, like the music
Hmm.
was musicking for me. I was so
Yes.
creative. I'm
Yes.
like, oh my God, like I just felt
Mm,
like, yo, like I have to
mm,
make it. I
mm,
have to figure this thing out. You know, I knew how Atlanta made me feel and I knew that I wanted to go back, but I had to go back with a different strategy. I had to go back with a different plan. If I was gonna really do this music thing and really, do this, I had to figure things out. And
absolutely.
that's what I did. I went back, I
Hmm.
revised my plan, I stacked my money again. And I ended up, I would say, staying at my mom's for in her basement because she had moved at this time. So, she wasn't intending on me coming back. So she
Hmm.
didn't have another room, like she was downsizing. So when I came back home after those 2 years, I was in her basement.
Okay.
So I made that work, but I was down there writing my music and performing still. I was doing more shows in Rockford. I also started my social media presence where I started uploading videos to YouTube, like
Hmm.
singing and like doing covers and like
Hmm.
releasing
Hmm.
other singles and stuff like that. Just trying to get my foot out there. And during that time, I was like, you know what? I'm going back to Atlanta. I have to do this. And I was performing at a little showcase in Rockford and this lady, which who turned out to be my mom's friend, um, at the time I didn't really know her like that, but her and my mom were friends, and she had a cousin who managed artists in Atlanta, and she
Okay.
would look. She was looking for artists, and she knew that she wanted to get some male R&B singers, but she hadn't had any luck. So she had been kind of scouting all over to figure out where she can find a good singer, and she wanted to,
Oh,
start her own
okay.
stuff or whatever.
Okay.
So I'm doing the show. She's at the show, and she says, "Well, I got a cousin I think would be good if your son connected with her." And maybe like a week later, she calls me the manager, and she's like, "Hey, my cousin told me about you. She says you
Right.
sing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I checked you out. I saw some of your stuff on YouTube. I like it." She's like, "Can you sing something for me now?" So I sang something over the phone. She said, "I'm actually in Rockford." She said, "Come see me." So I'm telling my mom, and I'm like, at this point, I'm excited. I'm like, oh,
Right, right.
okay, this is like a real opportunity now, like to have a management team, to have a
Yes, it's
manager
yeah,
who can like provide me
yes.
opportunities.
Everything's coming together.
It's coming together, like, and I'm home. I'm not even in
Yes.
Atlanta. I'm not.
Mhm,
This is the
mhm,
very place I said it couldn't happen, and it's happening,
mhm, mhm.
right? So I end up going over there, and she's in the house with like four different females, whatever. Somebody was doing hair on the other side, and they were chilling, right? Really nice, sweet lady. She made me feel like, she was my mom. She was like another, and eventually she became a mother figure to me. But she was like, "I need you to sing that song that you just sang on the phone for me." So I sang, and everybody in the house was like, "Oh my God, you can sing, like you got a voice
Mhm,
on you."
mhm.
And that really, I guess for me, was a sign for me, because these people didn't know me from nothing. This is my first time meeting these people, and I'm young. I mean, I had never really experienced that feeling, like, of people supporting me on that type of level. Like, and these people don't know me. You know what I'm saying? It's different from like performing and people like, "Oh yeah, you did a great job." Like, they were in awe with what I did. And like, it made me feel like, well, damn, I really do got it. I done been through all of
Yes,
this stuff, and
yes.
I may have fell, and like I may have went through all of this stuff, but now I'm back up, and yeah, I
Mhm.
am. You
This
know what I'm
seals the deal.
saying?
Mhm.
So a week later, she asked to work with me, like, professionally. There was no contract involved or nothing. She was just like, "I really believe in your talent, and I want to help you." So she started providing opportunities for me. And my mom and my dad were very skeptical, because one thing about it, my mom and dad are very, very smart. Both of them. My mother's smarter than my father, but my dad is street smart
Right, okay.
and
Yeah.
industry smart. My dad has done a lot even within the music industry. And my
Oh,
mom is very book smart.
mhm,
So they
mhm.
were like thinking like, "Well, hold on, because we know you talented." And at this point, my parents are my biggest supporters. They, whatever it is I want to do, they're supporting me. My dad was my manager at one point in life. So that shows how much they believe in me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
now
yes,
somebody else is coming and putting hands
yes.
on me. They're trying to figure out, well, hold on, we not gonna move too fast. Like, what we doing? They were like that. So they said, well, we not signing nothing. We not doing nothing. If she's gonna provide you opportunities, allow her to show you. Allow her to provide them. And if she can prove to you that she can be your manager, then you can sign with her. Then
Mhm,
we can start
mhm.
having those conversations. But right now, we don't know her from a can of paint. So she proved to me that she could be my manager. I
And she
mean,
can be
I
trusted.
had
Mhm.
I had shows in Atlanta. I was flying back and forth from Atlanta,
Oh,
from
mhm.
Chicago. I had shows booked in Chicago and Rockford. Like, she was really doing a damn
She was
thing. Like,
working,
even
she doing the work.
my first
Yeah.
video shoot, she paid for everything. She had
Wow.
executives from Sony
Yeah, I was
at
about
the
to ask
photo
about that because you
shoot.
had to deal with Sony.
Yes.
Mhm.
So originally, like, I didn't know what this would be, but I knew that she believed in me, and I knew that she has a little bit of connections, and I knew that, she was like a mother figure. She wanted to see me win, and that's what I needed. I needed somebody in my corner who could make some things shake, and really have my best interest. So I ended up moving back to Atlanta. This is the end of 2016. I ended up
Okay.
stacking my money. I'm performing. Now I got a management, situation
You
going
got your team.
on.
You got your team. Yeah.
I got my team, you know what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
not going
Mhm.
back to school right now. I'm just gonna go to Atlanta, and I'm finna get it out the mud. That's what we gonna do. So she ended up opening her home to me. So I didn't have to go
Mm.
find an apartment or anything like that off bat. She opened up her home to me, and I stayed with her. I ended up finding a job. I ended up working for Apple. Mind you, she lived in Lawrenceville, so she was a little way from the city. But I ended up staying with her. She took me back and forth to work. Um, in the midst of that, I had a little change, so I was able to get a car within the first month or so of being there. So I'm working, I got a car. Me and her, we working. I mean, she's taking me to different events. She got me at people's baby showers performing. I mean, I was everywhere. She didn't care. She was just like, "Look, we finna
You
get
got
you
to get
this
the
dough.
exposure. How you gonna get the exposure?
Hey,
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
is, we gonna do
yeah.
this."
Right,
So we did that for a very long time to the point where I was able to get in the radio and I was able to sit down with Greg Street Rocks and like really pick his brain. They listened to my music and they gave feedback on that. Um, I had even gotten to a point with her where I had a possible deal with Future. At that point, Future had Free Band's music and his record label and all of that. And somehow they met. She introduced me to him. I had a phone conversation with
wow,
him, and
wow.
I sang over the phone for him, and like he loved it. He had his producer. I still have those beats in my
Wow, I didn't
phone
know
to
that. I didn't know about that. Okay.
yeah. And that deal went left. A lot of things kind of happened with that due to like my manager not really being experienced on that level and kind of knowing what to do with that type of opportunity. I feel like it became more so about putting the whole team on because at this point I'm not the only artist. She's managing me and a few other
Right,
rappers and stuff like
right.
that. So she wants to bring the whole team on, and I don't think he was really with that. And it kind of just the relationship kind of soured. Um,
Mm,
but to me, all in all, I'm living the life now. You know what I'm saying? I'm performing. I had never performed in Atlanta till I met her. I did a lot of things with her and under her umbrella that I did by myself prior to. So I was just happy that I was back in the place that I wanted to be. I was happy that, I was doing my thing. And I think it had gotten to a point where she started going through things in her marriage because she was married. And the same things and effort that she was doing for me in the beginning kind of started to go downhill.
downhill.
So
Right,
I didn't
right,
have any many shows and the opportunities wasn't really popping and like that other deal had went left. I also had a little resentment towards her because of that because I feel like she dropped the ball.
right,
And
right. That's understandable.
I ended up finding my own apartment. I ended up moving out.
Mm,
I ended up moving to Norcross. And at this point I got my job, I got my car. Um,
mm.
I got my own place now. I've never had my own place at this point. This is my first apartment on my own. And
Okay. Mm,
I'm back with the other guy that I
mm.
started dating. While I originally moved to Atlanta, I'm back with him.
Okay. Right, right,
And I'm just at this point, I'm living life.
right.
The music, I feel like I had experienced this like great push, right? And like people started to know who I was, and like I don't know, like Atlanta started to
Yeah, you getting
feel
your
like
footing. Yeah, you getting
home,
your footing
you
now.
know?
Yeah.
But now I really don't have that because I don't have a management team. I don't have nobody going in those places and saying, hey, my artist is
Right.
coming out. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Mhm.
have nobody being my spokesman. So at this point, I was still writing music, but I wasn't focused on that. I was being uh I was indulging in the Atlanta lifestyle. I was on my own. You know what I'm saying? I was out at the clubs every night, every weekend. I was just doing my thing. Like I was really getting into my fashion bag. So just shopping and eating and like just trying to be fab. I was just
And
trying to
what did
live a
that come
fabulous
in at?
life.
Yeah, speaking of fashion, like, what did that come in at? Because you talked about your musical journey, but I wanna get more into the the fashion journey for you. Like, how did that start and, when did that become,
Yeah.
like, when did that catapult?
Well, the fashion was like I said, my eighth grade year in middle school. I remember I
But
was
when did it
bullied for,
right, but I'm saying,
not
but when did
really
it catapult for you?
having.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when did it catapult for you? When did it become like the next level type stuff, that's what I mean.
Well, the next level, I think, um, eh, I guess for me, from freshman year up until, so think of 2011, from 2016, my fashion sense uh, kind of remained the same. Nothing had really changed. Um, of course, I had kind of learned different techniques and different things and different designer houses, and I was doing my own little thing, but I wasn't really in like a fashion bag um, until like about 2018. I
Oh,
think
really?
for me, yeah, like, yeah, I was designing my own stuff and like I was very creative, but like on the level that I'm on today, with just having a true eye for fashion and like really understanding what it is and like how to wear clothes and
Hmm.
how clothes make me feel and different designers and like I don't know the pieces and the structures and the fabrics of
Yes.
things. I didn't learn those things until like 2018, where I
Okay.
really started to like say, I'm really a fashionista. Like I really, I can do this. And I can be like an influencer or like a runway model, you know what I'm saying? That
Hmm.
wears these fabulous clothes because at this point I know fashion. I've been studying and like it's within me, it's it's
Yes.
it's easy to me. um so I didn't take that seriously until like 2018, but
And
I
so,
think,
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to ask you. So, you say you took it serious 2018. So, once you started taking it seriously, where did you go from there? Like, how did it start for you, where you were able to build a rep? You know, you started to put your name out there as a designer, as a stylist. Like, how did it start for you? And when did it all come together for you, and to the point where now you're a fashion designer for real with your own collection?
Well, I think for the longest, people have always asked me to style them, even when I didn't feel like I was the best dresser at that time. But people, like since high school, people be like, "Can you style me? You should style me," and I'm just like, "Child, I can't style
Yeah.
you."
Really?
It's not a thing
Wow.
for me. Yeah, and I wasn't like, I didn't know nothing about styling somebody. I knew I could style myself, and that was it. Um, Fast forward 2019 is when I met my partner, our guy, and this at this point that was my third time being back in Atlanta because I ended up moving in 2016. I ended up going back home again.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm like, wait, let me figure this out. So I moved back to Atlanta for the third time, 2019, and I met our guy. Thank God I didn't meet him and then come back to Atlanta for him. I met him, you know, after just kind of praying to God and asking God to
Right,
send me someone. Um, and I was very specific on the things that I wanted. And like this
right.
time around was
'Cause you wanted it
different
to
for me.
stick. You wanted to stick
I
this
wanted
time.
it to
Yeah.
stick, and I also
Yeah.
have been through so much that I knew what type of man that I wanted and that I needed, and what type of partner I desired. So I prayed for that, and
Yes.
I was blessed with our guy. And
How did you meet? How did that love story happen?
oh my God, Faith,
Mhm,
I'm not about
mhm.
to do this with you. I'm gonna
No,
tell
come
you about the
on.
fashion, and then so we I met our guy, and he was already like this fashion guru,
Mhm, mhm.
he was already like experienced in the ways that maybe I wasn't. Um, I think for me, I definitely leveled up when I got with him. I feel like I was already that. He was already that, but then when we got together, we kind of leveled each other up, and that goes from
Right.
music, fashion, beauty,
Mm,
all of that. Just it
all
just
of it.
became a
Mhm.
playground for us because we enjoyed the same things. We were in the same kind of line of work and in the same industry, I guess. And we really just started to like feed off each other when it came to fashion. um, I think with our guy having a life in drag, um,
Yes.
he, you know, already had a vision for fashion and an eye for um, high fashion. And I feel like, he inspired me in ways, um, with just being more open to fashion and like not being so closed minded and, you know, wearing whatever the hell you wanted to wear and just being,
Right. Not be so safe with it, you know? Yeah.
yeah, being very
Yeah. Yeah.
creative and
Yeah.
open and just,
Mhm.
allowing fashion to be,
Mhm.
Um, but in the midst of us being together, I definitely had stepped it up. And I think that's just over the years you grow, and
Yes.
I,
Oh,
I
yes,
just
absolutely.
something happened like even on my transition back to Atlanta 2019, I just started dressing different. I started feeling
Yes.
different.
Yes.
And it just naturally happened. But in that moment, people just was still asking me to style them. And I was just like, okay, maybe I don't know, maybe I'll do it. But at this point, Robert was on, I'm sorry, our guy was on G Status. And I had started to create my own reality show called The Official Atlanta.
Mhm.
And I ended up styling two of my castmates. And one of them was an executive producer on the show with me. And those were the first two people like I really styled.
Okay.
Um, our guy even gave me opportunities to style him for his green screens on
Right.
G
G
Status. So,
status. Mhm.
I was dibbling and dabbling, but it was only with people that I trusted and that I knew and that I loved. And it wasn't on a professional level, but it definitely helped me understand how to put this look together for a different person other than me and like what it is that they may want to wear or, finding whatever it is that or whatever vision that they have and bringing it to life for them. Like it really helped me and molded me be more confident in
Right.
the styling aspect of it. Um, but I had been doing that, and I met a friend of our guys, famous, who is a very dear friend to us, and she was in our guy's life for years.
Mm.
So they were very close, and I ended up meeting her one night, and we were at her house having drinks and food, and her friend Ms. Law was
Mm.
there, and Ms. Law came and we connected because she's also a music artist as well. So
Yes.
famous is an
Mhm.
artist. We all artists. We're just vibing, chilling,
Yes.
whatever.
Shout out to
And
them. Mhm.
we ended up coming up. I think we were talking about a show that she had or a video shoot that Miss Law was gonna do, and she said she needed a stylist, and I'm like, girl, I'm a stylist. Like, I can style
Mhm.
you, son. And just the conversation just kind of happened of me
Mhm.
styling her. And I said, well, I'm talking to our guy. I'm like, well, how much should I charge her? Like, I don't know. I don't know how much I should
Mhm.
charge her. Like,
Mhm.
I don't really know the rules of the game. I just know I can style. But when it comes
Right.
to like
Right.
getting my money, getting my
Yeah.
coins,
Mm.
I didn't really know. I didn't have a contract. I didn't have, a one sheeter with my prices. I didn't have any of that.
Right.
And I had to
Right.
figure it out, and our guy helped me figure that out. So, um, she sent me my little deposit, honey, and I started creating these looks. She started telling me like what her vision was for her video. I mean, for her photo shoot, and um, I think it was also her birthday too, something like that. And like we ended up, I styled her for her birthday. It was a lot happening that weekend for her, but I ended up styling her for the whole thing. And that was my first time getting paid for styling. So
Gotcha.
it was like, like damn, that was
This
easy
this
and it
is like
was
this can work.
fun.
Like this can work. Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Mm.
was fun, you know what I mean? Like it was like it was easy to me. It was second nature. Like it was just like, oh yeah, yeah, you can do this. So I
Yes.
said, well, you know what? My music, I'm still love music. It's still number one, right? That's still my
Right.
baby.
Right.
It's still my first love. But I think I want to take this styling
You
thing
have another
serious.
passion. Yeah. You have another passion. Right. You have another
Yeah.
passion now. Yeah. And
have
that's
another
wonderful.
passion,
Yeah.
and I'm not limiting myself anymore.
Mhm.
I'm a whole new person at this point. You know, I'm different and I feel different. I'm comfortable with who I am and my sexuality and just me being Ja'Van. Like I'm okay with
You
that,
just
right?
Javen. Yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah. So I just feel like the styling definitely opened doors for me that music did not open.
Got you.
Um
Absolutely. And then you're
I
able to intertwine it at some point. You're able to
yeah,
kind of merge it, you know. So that's just
yeah.
like sweet. That's the ice on the cake right there. But Kimberly Black, they're
Yeah.
actually engaged. They're engaged to be married. Yeah. Yeah, check out their proposal video on their YouTube channel, Love TV Network. I'm gonna have the link in the description box. Yes, check out that the proposal is beautiful, but they're engaged to be married. Yes. And can
Yes,
you
that's
tell us,
amazing.
are you gonna give us the backstory to your love story now?
Yes. So our guy and I, well, let me just set it up because I know they had some questions earlier, like when does accountability come in? So let me just say this. I took accountability, honey. I went back home.
Oh,
I gathered my
yeah,
things.
you
Okay. I
covered
said,
that.
when
You
I come
covered
back to
that. Yeah.
Atlanta this time, I'm not playing no games. I'm not looking for love. I'm not looking for nothing. I had moved in. I had my own job. So I ended up transferring my job. I was working from home. So I ended up transferring my job from Rockford to Atlanta. I found me a nice, cute little studio apartment in
Mhm.
North Decatur. Okay,
Mhm.
had me a little cute little Nissan truck. Okay, then I upgraded to Mercedes Benz with the month of being
Mhm.
here, baby. I was on my thing. I was doing my thing, right?
Mhm.
I was not checking for no nigga. I wasn't. I was focused. Then I download this dating app.
Not looking for anybody, but yeah, you downloading the app. Go ahead.
I mean, I just want to see who around me. I don't know this area, so
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Oh, that's it.
so I'm like, well, hey, I mean, let's just see. Let's see what happens. And I would say maybe within the first few days, nothing really was. I wasn't entertaining nothing like that for real. And of course, I had other people that I had dated prior, so
Mhm.
I had people who wanted to see me and knew I was back in Atlanta and things of that nature. But it wasn't on. I wasn't on that type of time for real. For real, I was truly focused. And he ended up messaging me on the app. And I really don't remember what he said. I think it was like, hey, or what's up, or whatever. But I had a very provocative photo up. I'm a sex icon. I've been working on
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
things. So back then, like I was still very much a sex icon. Like I feel like, I'm the one. Like so I had a very provocative photo of honey that got the boy's attention. It
Like,
got his attention.
boom. Mhm.
And we ended up talking and chatting or whatever, and he asked me on a date, or I guess I wouldn't even say a date, but like to hang out or something like that.
Mhm. Mhm. The meet up.
And
Mhm.
at this point I'm like, well, okay, cool, like we can hang out, but where we gonna go? And he's like, well, I don't know, it's pretty late, like where we can go get something to eat, but can you come get me? And I'm like, come get you, nigga, you ain't got no car. I'm not. No, 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 no. I'm not going backwards. No, I'm not doing it. I went to go get the boy.
Mhm. Well, oh my God, not the boy. Oh Lord.
I went to go meet him. Okay. He came out the house dashing, honey. I mean, he got his braids, a little bun. He had these silver metallic shoes on, smelling good. I mean,
Oh.
I'm just like, okay, he cute. He looked like his pictures. Okay. hmm And at this time, I had a lot of Chicago still in me. Like I was very much rough around the edges, and I still had a lot of walls up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I I was very nice, nasty. I was very stank. Like okay,
Oh.
like not
Mhm. I
impressed.
can see that. I can see that.
I was very much
Mhm.
all of the things, but it was really just me like trying to let him know, like, I ain't easy. I already didn't want to come get you, but you know, whatever. Now I will say that he had gotten into a car accident um a few weeks prior to meeting me.
Mm,
So that's
mm,
why he did not have a car, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It's not because he didn't
mm.
have no money. He just didn't have a car because he had wrecked his car. But
Yeah.
we ended up going to Applebee's, okay? And you know, I just I don't know. I was feeling him, but I was still shy. I still felt like I didn't want to make the same mistakes that I made prior to. So I was very careful.
Understandable. Very
I was
understandable.
very like aware of like what was going on in that moment. And I don't know, he said something like, "You ain't gotta be frowning like that. You ain't some I don't know." And then he ended up cracking the joke, I ended up laughing.
Mm.
And then I was like,
Wow. You laughed? Oh, wow.
I laughed. I
Wow.
smiled or smirked or
You
something
said,
like that.
oh, wow.
Um
That's impressive.
if you can get me to smile, laugh, and
Yes.
like, you're probably my type of person. Like, I love
Mhm,
somebody who we can be in the middle of the street and it could be a million people there and you can do something
mhm,
crazy because you don't care what people think or say.
mhm,
Like, I like
mhm.
that.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
and our guy is that type of person. Like, he don't care.
So y'all
So
developed your relationship.
yeah, we
Yeah.
developed a relationship. That was our first date. We spent every day after that day together. Um, he ended up taking me on a real date, I think the next day or a few days after, or whatever. So he had me meet him at his house. He had like a sexy uh Uber. It was like, I forgot what type of Uber it was, but it was real sexy. I think it was an Uber Black, but it was real sexy. He had roses
Mm.
waiting for me, and he
Oh,
was
all
standing
right.
outside the car, and I'm like,
He did his
oh,
big one. He did
this
his
was
big
this
one.
was
Okay.
cute, right? He would
Okay,
not tell me
okay.
where we were going. It was a surprise. But you know me, like, I was like, at this point, I'm locked in, because once I meet somebody and like I know that like I really like you and I
Right.
feel that connection, I just kind of knew, like, okay. So I wasn't giving him such a hard time. But I also kind of wanted to impress him. So, I showed up in my Balenciaga, honey, had my fedora
Mm,
on. I mean, I was real
mm,
cute, and I was giving much
mm.
boy, very pretty boy at that time.
Yes, yes.
So I don't know. We just connected, and on our day, we ended up going to the bowling pin or something like that. It's like Fins and Feather with the little mini
Okay.
bowling pins or
Mhm.
whatever. And they had like a food and drinks or whatever, like a cute little spot. And I kicked his ass in bowling. Um, he paid for everything, so that was cute. I said, okay, all right. I like that. Um, but no, he was really, really my soulmate. I
Mm.
think the way to my heart was just him being authentically him,
Mhm.
him really like loving me from day one. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? We had our ups and downs in the very beginning of our relationship, which I think brought us closer. We went through a lot of different things, um, that most people don't go through within the first 6 months of being together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that really brought us closer quicker. But I knew after that second date that I did not want to be with anybody else but him. I basically asked him, "So you gonna cut your hose off? Cause what we doing? Like, at this point, you
Mhm.
my man. We together. We
Oh,
go
wow.
together. I mean, at this point, you at my house every day. I done gave you a front
Like, we
closet, honey.
exclusive now. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the point of you going home every day when you gonna be here after work anyway? Like, you might as well just come on,
Just said,
come
yeah,
on."
just
So
said,
that
just,
that's what happened. We ended up
settling
staying
in.
at my apartment, and we outgrew that. So once we outgrew that, we ended up moving to our own space once my lease was up. And that was our first place together, and we've
Yes.
been together every
It was, oh,
every since.
Yeah, happily ever after. So let me ask you this. So
Yeah.
because I
And I
know
know you
like
run low on time. I know you run low on time. And I
yeah,
know she's waiting.
yes, yes. Yeah, but I'm enjoying all of this. But I want to know because you notice like most gay couples you have the masculine and the femme and but it's not very many gay couples who are both androgynous, so a lot of
Mm.
times do you receive not pushback, but some people that may have some type of like something to say about y'all you two together in the feminine aspect, but together.
Um, if they do, I don't hear it.
Okay.
I mean, most people
Mhm.
either love it or don't understand it, but they respect it because of the love that we have for each other and how we
Oh,
handle each other.
yes.
Um, I think for me, in the beginning, I think because there's levels to androgynous, right? There's so many different levels to being androgynous. And I think in the beginning, I didn't really care about like what people would think. When he told me that he did drag, like I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a thing for me to be like, oh, well, he's wear wigs and wears makeup because at that point I wasn't wearing makeup. Robert introduced me to makeup. I didn't
Of course.
have a clue about that. Now I definitely took care of my skin. Okay, definitely was on that pretty boy type of time, but I didn't really have information about makeup
Yeah.
and things of
Right.
that nature. When I thought about makeup, I thought
Right.
about like but there's different ways to wear makeup.
Yes. Mhm.
I may sometimes have makeup on and you don't even know I have it on. You know what I'm saying? There's
Right.
different ways
Right.
and different levels to it. So when he told me that, like to me it wasn't a thing and I didn't really care. And I think because we don't care and because we know what happens behind closed doors, we know when we come up out of whatever we got on, who we are.
Yes.
Anybody who knows us in faith, you can speak to that. You know how we are outside of the
Yes.
image and
Yes.
what it is. So I'm cool with that. My man is a man.
Okay.
I'm
Yes.
a man. You know what
Your
I'm
man.
saying?
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm okay with my man being a soft top. I like soft tops. He's okay with me being a soft top as well. I mean, we have fun. You know what I'm saying? We
Mm-hmm.
are each other's fantasies and that's okay. Like we work very well together, and that's in every aspect, whether it's
Yes.
fashion, beauty,
Music.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like we work very well together.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
um
Mm-hmm.
to me, like I don't see a problem with it, and I think people over the years have grown to admire the type of relationship that we have. um based off how we handle each other and how we present with each other and how we support each other, genuinely support each other. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, there may be a little backlash or people may chatter and like the girls may try to read, but they also single. They also don't have a man because of their same insecurities. It'd be a lot of different things. So I keep it moving. I'm
Yeah, just
happy.
yeah, block the noise. Yeah, block the noise. But I mean, y'all
Yeah.
both y'all do great music together and also fashion
Thank
together.
you.
So give us more about J Ro and more, please.
So J. Moore is um, our fashion line. Javen with the J row is Javen and Robert. Um, we decided to create J. Moore um, because we have this passion for fashion, and we are both very creative when it comes to creating looks and just having a vision and being able to bring certain things to life. So we said, well, why not? Like, let's create a fashion brand to add on to our empire that we're building. We
Mm-hmm.
have Love TV Network where music, fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and love meets, and it was only
Yeah.
right to
Mm-hmm.
create, these pieces. like I said, styling had opened opportunities and doors for me that music necessarily didn't. This was a different place for me. So I had got an opportunity to present or style for Fashion Week in
Yes,
Columbia.
Fashion Week. Hmm.
And at that time, I did not have a full collection. And I mean, I didn't even have a collection. I mean, we had this brand, but we hadn't had any things like on hand. But I knew that I wanted to do this. I knew that I wanted to be a part of Fashion Week in Columbia, and they were basically asking me to like either style the models or present. And I
Right.
said, well, we're gonna present. So our guy, I really like I kind of begged him because at that time we had a lot going on. We had just moved into our brand new house. We had just got engaged. It was a lot going
It
on.
was a lot. Right. Right.
And now here I am wanting to create a
You
whole
do something else. Yep. You wanted to
piece,
get
you
into
know what I'm
something else.
saying? And it's just like, wait, what? But I was able to convince him, and we literally created our line. We started from there. Um,
Yes.
Columbia Fashion Week definitely was the peak for me with like really styling and like really taking this thing seriously and wanting to do celebrity styling at this point, and like that really changed the trajectory of like my styling career is doing that Fashion Week.
Yes, and I'm sure that it did because I mean, I'm looking back now at the because I haven't seen them in a while, and just looking back at how this just all just became it's just
Yeah.
becoming what it is just amazing to me. So I mean,
Yeah.
I just want to give you your flowers,
Well,
for
thank
everything and everything.
you. Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely, absolutely.
I
Because I
love it.
mean, for all that you've overcome, you've given us, some backstory, you've given us history of where it began with you and how's it going, and it's going so well with you, and I'm so proud of you. And you also have a regular job on top of that. So with all that,
Yeah, I
with
I
all of
have
that.
a career, you
Yeah,
know. I mean, I have a
yes,
career
all of that.
outside of
Yeah.
my
Mhm.
career, you know what I mean? But I will say this because I know we have to wrap. Um, Two things. I have also stepped into my influencer bag. So I do a show called
Mm.
Fashion Foodies.
Yes,
Fashion
yes.
Foodies is literally like my baby that I'm growing. The concept basically comes from me loving fashion, but me also being a foodie. My husband is a
Mhm.
chef. Okay. My husband can cook down. Okay. And
Mhm.
definitely, like in the beginning of our relationship, I was more so cooking because, I had to make him know I could cook a little bit. But eventually I got tired of that because I'm like, child,
You're like,
I
yeah.
can't keep this
This
up. I
ain't
can't keep cook. I
this
can
not
cook,
my
but I can't
ministry.
cook like that.
This not my ministry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not my
Yeah.
ministry. You can cook like that. So he is now
Yes.
the chef of the house, honey, the chef of the holidays. But we are foodies. We love going to restaurants and trying new foods
Oh
and
yes.
traveling. We just
Yes.
came back from Bali and the food was
Yes.
amazing.
Mhm.
So I've become a real foodie and like a real advocate for even just like black owned businesses and like making sure they get their exposure and like really trying to put them on the map, but also in the time of that of like creating my own space and place in this YouTube world and in this influencer world. So Fashion Foodies is going to be
Yes.
um new episodes are going to be coming this year. I'm actually filming the first official taping of it in the
Right.
next few
Right.
weeks. So I will have guests. Hopefully, I'll have you on the show as a special guest where we can talk about Miss Faith and your fashion and your food and all of the things that you love. But yeah, I'm really honing in on that. And also, I have new music coming. I have a single dropping on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is my day.
Nice.
It's just
Nice.
become my day. Every year I'm dropping on Valentine's Day, and
Mm.
I have a lot. I have a lot of great
Yes.
things.
And
coming.
we're looking forward to it.
Um,
I'm looking forward to promoting it all. I'm looking forward to, just
yes,
bringing that to the forefront of my platform. So yes, make sure you look out. I'm
yes.
gonna have all it, everything he's talking about. I'm gonna have in the description box. So make sure you look out for that. Now I'm
Don't be
gonna have a little
rushing
bit.
me off, girl. Don't be
I'm
rushing
gonna
me
have a look.
off.
No, no, no. I appreciate you
I'm
because
joking.
you don't really, this is the most going to hear from Javen. So please enjoy this now because
For sure.
you're
I'm
not going to
also
hear this
not on
much from
social
Javen.
media right now. So I'm
Yeah,
not on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. Like you can go to my pages, but I'm not actively
right,
on any of that right now. I'm really
right.
focused and honed in. So yeah. This is
So
the
you're gonna
most
be
you're gonna
on,
get.
yeah. So you're gonna be more on YouTube.
Um yes and no. I'm just taking a break right
Okay,
now. I'm
but
focused.
I'm
I'm
still gonna
actually
have it. I mean, yes, I'm still gonna have your platforms. I'm still
yeah.
gonna,
All of
I'm
that
gonna
is
still
still
put it
out
out there.
there. It's
Yeah, I'm still
still
gonna put it
there.
out
I
there.
haven't deleted anything. I'm just not
Right.
on the socials right now.
But yeah, but I'm gonna have some
But
fun with you. And then I'm gonna ask like two questions I have to ask at the end of this interview before we wrap up. But I'm having a
okay.
little bit of fun with you. I'm not gonna do too much because I know our guy's waiting. Thank you. But thank you for your patience, our guy. But I'm gonna do a little bit this or that.
Here they come, yo. Here they come.
Yeah, so this or that where I give any random put out any random out there, either or. You can't plead the fifth. You can't say both. It's either or.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do a few. I mean, I can't do as much as I want to because of the time constraint, but here we go. All yours or your love.
All yours.
Mm. Both of those, check out both of those singles on Ja'Van Jerrod or platforms Your Love and All Yours. Those are the All Yours was the single that I just played for you in the beginning of the video, and then Your Love. This is one of my favorite songs as well. Check that out as well. All right. Um, K Michelle or Tamar Braxton.
K Michelle.
Okay. All right. So I said I can't. I can't compare. Oh no, I can't compare them. I'm sorry. Never mind. Forget it. I can't even
Please
compare them.
don't. Please
No, I
don't.
know. No, no. Okay. Janet Jackson or Madonna.
Janet.
They'll be they'll be biased. All right, because they both. Because I said, don't sleep on Madonna. Madonna's a true legend out here. So
Really?
yeah, yeah, yes, really. You better do your homework. You better do your history lesson. Oh,
No,
don't
no,
think.
no.
No, all right,
Madonna.
okay, all right now. Don't try it now.
Madonna. Hats
Oh,
off to Madonna. Hey.
mm,
But I'm gonna choose
mm.
Janet because baby, she was slept on and she was literally Michael Jackson's protege. Okay? She
Yeah,
is
she never been
the
slept on. No, I
girl.
don't think she slept on. I
I
don't think she
think
was
she's
slept
been
on.
slept on. I
No, I
think
don't
she's
think
been
so.
slept on
Mm-mm.
because they
Oh,
don't really include
mm-mm.
her in those conversations of like the greats. They
Oh, yes,
like
they
at the
do. I
tele.
don't know where you. I don't know.
I
You under
don't
a
think
rock,
they
girl?
do.
Yes, they do.
No,
What?
they don't.
Oh
No,
my
they don't.
goodness. She has a spot. All right.
So
Okay.
I
Well.
wait.
Mm,
I saw a few different photos of like the greats, right? And they had Prince, they had Aretha Franklin, they had Michael Jackson, they had like all of the people there. And they had one seat and they said, who would you remove from this seat to have your greatest legend or whoever be seated
mhm,
at the
mhm,
table with them?
mhm, mhm.
Janet Jackson was never included in the conversation. And a lot
That's
of
just one
times,
conversation.
that's not one. There's a lot of different conversations
Mm,
that are had where
mm,
Janet Jackson's name is not brought up. And
hmm.
I say, and that's why I said that she slept on. I also feel like my generation, they don't really appreciate Janet Jackson the way that I do.
Okay.
But I do feel like she slept on and that she should get more recognition for the things that she's done for the culture.
Got it. Duly noted. Salsa or guacamole?
Salsa.
Chips or nachos?
Are they not the same thing?
No.
But you
The
said,
tortilla. No, I said like regular chips, like Lay's chips, like potato chips or nachos.
oh, potato chips.
Okay. I'm surprised you said that. Okay. 1999, Prince, Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's hard. I'm gonna say Prince.
Okay. All right. Levi's or what was the God, what's the name of the other song? Your if
Money
loving you
all
is
day.
wrong. Love you is wrong. No, not that one. Levi's or If loving you is wrong, if loving you. Mm, mhm.
Loving you.
Right. Those are two singles from our guy. Please make sure you check those out. That's what I'm
Right.
referring to. But in the meantime, I thank you so much for playing. I wish it was longer, but again, I gotta ask these last two questions and
It's okay.
before we wrap up. Yeah, but thank you so much for playing with me. I have to make sure I have some fun with you. Yeah, so
No,
now
that was cute. I like that.
oh good, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so now if you had an opportunity to have five people at the seat of your table, dead or alive, who would they be and why? I need the why for each.
Like the artist,
No, anyone. Five people at the seat of your table. Anyone, dead or alive. Five people at the seat of the table. Who would they be and why?
my husband. Um,
Why?
I mean, because who else? I mean, that's
Yeah.
my partner. That's my life
Yeah, I
partner.
understand. I still need the why.
That's my
Yeah.
best friend. Like that, you know. Um, my mother.
Okay.
That is my boo. She deserves the world. So if I can give her that, I will. Um, and I need her love and support. You know, I need that. Um, the third would be Tony Braxton. I'm
Hmm.
obsessed with Tony Braxton. I love Tony Braxton.
Wow.
She's the queen of Libras. Um, to me, like she
Mm.
embodies what a Libra is, and like
Mm.
she's timeless. She's
Okay.
classic, and like
Mhm.
she's sexy. She's a sex icon. That's a sex icon to me. Like
Right.
I don't
Right.
know, but I've always felt like she was like mother or like my sister. You know, like so Tony. Um, the fourth person. Oh my gosh. This is hard, Faith.
I know.
Um, I would say my younger sister,
Mm.
India. She is my
Shout out to
heart.
her. Mhm, okay.
Um, she's one of my biggest supporters, so I know
Yes.
that she will be hyping me on and supporting me through whatever.
Yes.
Um, and the last person I would say, mm, I know this is probably going to be like anybody watching is gonna be like, "Oh, why?" But I have my reasons, and I'm gonna tell you why. So the last person is gonna be Nicki Minaj,
I knew it. I knew it.
Onika
Mhm.
Tanya Mirage.
Mhm. Mhm.
The why is because the lady saved my life in a
Mm.
time where I felt alone, in a time where I wasn't sure of my sexuality, in a time where I wasn't sure that I could do this music thing. I was introduced to her, and literally she inspired me, her story, her journey, who she is as a person, um, and the things that she stands for. And I just feel like, she's very misunderstood in a lot of ways. I feel like that sometimes. I feel like people go out the way to misunderstand me and not understand what I'm saying, like purposely.
Tell me about it.
Um, So, I feel like she's definitely overcome a lot, even just within this industry and in life. And to me, she's an inspiration. So I feel like she would be a perfect person to sit at that table because she has the
Right. This
wisdom
is your table.
and the inspiration, and she gets it.
Yes. Okay. Hey, it's your table. Now, who would
Yeah.
get the big piece of chicken and why?
Oh, I would say my mama. My
Okay.
mama would
Okay.
get the big piece of chicken because she gonna share it with everybody anyway. So
Oh, I love that. I love that answer. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay,
Yeah.
so now this is a question that I take from the late James Lipton from inside the actor studio. So, Javon Jerrod, when you enter into the pearly gates, what would you want God to say?
Um, I would like for him to say, "Job well done, son."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And here you are, Javon Jerrod, everyone. Thank you so much
Thank you so
for,
much for
I mean,
having me, Terry.
this has been wonderful. I mean, I appreciate you just opening up to me because this is the most, I think we have conversations, of course, but this
Yeah.
is like really, this has really been more in depth. We've been more candid, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing that, sharing everything with me as well as my audience. So I really am humbled by your presence here tonight. So thank you so much, Javen.
Well,
I
thank you,
love
Faith. I want
it.
to pour into you. I just want to say, continue to be you, continue to walk in your calling.
Oh,
Um, I know that a lot of times, again, we have similar feelings with feeling unappreciated or feeling
amen.
like people don't really understand us. Um,
Yes.
and I know how that can take a toll on your mental. So I just want to tell
Yes.
you to continue to strive for greatness. Continue to believe in yourself, you know? I know it's tough,
Yeah.
but you got it. And you're
Uh,
talented, you're witty, you're smart, and you have people who support you and love you. And I think if you continue to trust in God and continue to believe in your vision and see the vision that He has for you as well, that everything that your heart desires will come to pass. So
oh,
continue to do this, be consistent. You've been consistent thus far, continue going hard. And I can't wait to see this show grow. So I can be able to say, I was one of the first guests on it.
mhm,
And yeah,
mhm.
I love you and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you so much, Javen. That was amazing. I do appreciate him coming on. And so I'm not gonna hold you too long because I got our guy coming up right after. So please make sure that you stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. I know it's a little late, but stay with me, because I it was all worth the time that he sat down with me. And like I said, he was more candid than ever. So please make sure that you take and absorb everything that Javen has blessed us with. I really do appreciate him for just being in his presence and pouring into me because I really needed that because he's one of the only few people other than my mom and God that really truly understands me and understand where I be coming from. Because like I said before, when I many videos where I tell people about how I tend to ruffle feathers or I tend to rub people the wrong way. And I mean, but he's always been one to really understand me and be more neutral about certain things. So I really appreciate Javen. I'm so honored to have a friendship with you. I appreciate you so much. And so shout out to all the people that came through, and especially my co-host, Miss Kimberly Black. Please make sure that you come back, Kimberly, for my next interview that's coming right up. So please stay tuned as I interview with um, our guy. All right. So you have a good one. Mm.